like a countdown. There you
And
go.
we're live now.
His
I'm sorry for this train wreck already,
Yeah, so this is on Justin's YouTube channel.
which is already a big train wreck.
Yeah, I bet there's just a bunch of FMVs on there.
There's
Like
about three favorited videos.
AMVs, excuse me.
One being Ice Cap Zone acapella by Smooth McGrooves, and then
That's a good
the
one.
two Keiki songs.
Oh my god, really?
What the fuck?
You fucking asshole.
So
Yo, that's
everybody,
like episode 6 shit right there.
go listen to the Keiki song if you haven't already. I've not said it in a while,
Listen,
but that's some great shit right there.
the Keiki song is funny, but you've taken this too far.
So for reference, the Keiki song is from Madoka Magica, the third
Oh
movie.
no, everyone knows.
No, they don't. New listeners might not know.
It's true. People that hunt down this fucking podcast. Y'all are crazy.
So one of them is just the regular song, and then the other is the song in 6,000 slow speed, and it sounds like you're worshiping the devil as you listen to it. It's pretty amazing.
Anime.
Did we actually record ourselves listening to it together and freaking out?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, that was recorded. I'm pretty sure Greg cut that in as like a little extra thing.
Because, yeah, that was a thing we did.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
We've never been the same since.
And then we all died on the inside. It's weird, right?
Except for me, I just grew in size.
Finally, just like Teddy. All right, you guys ready? I guess I'm gonna host this shit.
Yep, we're good.
I'm gonna take a sip of this coffee right here. Oh yeah.
I tried to do a fake one, and you did a real one, so damn it.
Yeah, guzzle that Gatorade. Justin,
Oh, yeah.
didn't you get a real microphone?
I did, but where I'm at and trying to set it up, it always like has some kind of feedback a little bit from either my computer vent or something like that, so I have to work on that and try and get that. So
You gotta hit me up, man. I'm your resource.
all right, I need like 10 extra tables. I need the microphone not to be 1,000 pounds heavy. That the thing that holds the mic just doesn't fall down all the time. So
there are ways around it, around
Okay.
the falling thing. I'll just let me know when you get some time. I'll show you some techniques.
okay, because I barely have anywhere to put the thing to hold it, like the actual stand. So that's gonna be the first problem.
Fair enough. All right, I'm doing this.
Animes.
Anime. It's 39.
39.
Jesus.
Exactly.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Malicious Underground Podcast X, episode 39. I'm Alex O'Neill, your stand-in, your standee, your anime cutout, your body pillow host today. And with me this month, I have Justin Graffius.
Hey, I'm here.
And
Greg's not.
And Greg's dead. He's fine. And the one and
He's
only...
busy being a Gundam.
He's Gundaming up. The Nep Siffer, Mr. Nep, Mr. underscore Nep.
I exist.
Nep does exist. He's a real boy now.
I'm a real boy.
He's a real cute anime boy. That's why I imagine that you are, Nep. Just like for your ego's sake, I have to tell you that. Greg's not here. He probably will be here at some point, or at least I hope. I know he set an alarm. We were talking about this last night.
We were, and that's why I was surprised.
Something at some point is going to wake him up, and he's probably going to be real upset about it. But in the meantime, since I'm on a little bit of a tight timetable here, we're gonna get started. We're gonna talk about anime as like an update to folks that are listening.
Wait, we talk about anime on this podcast?
Yeah, I know, it's weird. This isn't a video games podcast.
I thought this
Contrary
was
to
Irrational
popular belief.
Passions.
So Greg and I are working on getting the show back up on iTunes. So I know it's not there right now. We're trying to figure it out. Just bear with us. People have been able to find the show and listen to it on YouTube, and I'm impressed every day.
I'd be surprised if they discovered this one because it's on a different channel.
It's on a different channel, but again, I tweet it from the
We're
Malicious
switching it
Pod
up.
account. So if you follow at Malicious Pod on Twitter, you'll find the episodes. But working on that, and that's it. You should also go listen to Irrational Passions podcast. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's a pretty good show. Let's talk about anime. Who wants to go first?
The one
Who
at the
does want to
time.
go first?
Shit, fair enough. I watched anime. I watched an anime, I should say. I don't know. Do you guys like? I guess you guys just watch anime all the time, right? You don't go through fits and spurts of it, where it's like, man, I'm just not in the mood for anime right now, or man, I really want to watch anime right now. I don't know how it works for you all, for like weird anime weeaboos like you.
Well, actually, I think it's weirder for me, I guess. I used to, before this podcast, I used to like watch like always like TV shows on Netflix, Hulu, stuff like that.
Uh
And
huh.
then all of a sudden, when I started watching this and started watching the new animes that come out each season, it's become more of, oh, I want to watch the new anime than, oh, there's a new Netflix show on. I want to watch and binge watch that real quick. Um, so yeah, the anime has become more of that's what I'm watching as well as some other shows. Um,
Okay. I like
Uh,
it. I am genuinely curious. Go ahead, Nep.
I've had times where I just burn out on anime. Like there was like a really big burnout that lasted for a few years, like back in the high school days. And like during that time, I watched nothing else. There's a complete gap of what was the in the thing. Like it was around the time of what was that one?
did Dragon Ball GT make you stop? I hate anime. Nope.
I'm one of the few people that like
I
GT.
know. I'm just giving it shit because
I,
Greg's not
I
here to.
I like GT as well.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, it was like during the era of like Code Geass. Like I completely was not into anime back in that era,
Okay.
and so that's actually a backlog show I'll get to eventually. But
hmm So I'm not alone in like the feeling of like there are times when you all have not wanted to necessarily watch anime, which is comforting.
yeah, it's been
Yeah,
shorter
for sure.
since then. Like I've never hit that years mark again. It's just like like sometimes it'll be like a few weeks or something, but that's about as bad as it gets now.
Okay. I'm in a place right now specifically where I guess I'm not watching a lot of TV, right? I guess I like burnt out on TV because I guess it was between the fall TV season and the spring TV season that like I caught up on everything that was fall and I burnt out, I guess, a little bit. So like I haven't like been watching any TV. Any of my that extra time has just been going to video games. So with TV, anime. Uh, so this past week, as far as like I really need to watch anime right now. Like I kind of had in February, March, and then nothing, and then back here again. Uh, and I think I'm like kind of right in the middle of it. I'm still like craving a little bit. Like I think I can probably burn through one or two more shows. Um, it was like I watched Stranger Things on Netflix. I don't know if either of you watched it. It's real.
I put it on my queue, but again, that's one of those. I'm like, I haven't seen Daredevil season 2 yet.
Jesus, dude.
I started Jessica Jones finally. I watched Marco Polo, and the second season came out of that, and I really want to watch that.
Yeah.
The Stranger Things, I put on there. Yeah, I'm like I said, that's the stuff that I'm like, oh, they put all the episodes out at once.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's binge watching it. I don't want to. I just want to watch an episode here and there.
Yeah.
So then that makes me stay away from it a while since they're already all there.
So I like to binge. I like to binge. Much like with everything in my life, excess is golden. But so like that, I watched like all of that in one day, and that was like the first TV show I watched since I guess like outside of like watching Arrow and Flash every week, that was like the first thing I watched since like Daredevil season 2. So that kind of got me back into TV, and I'm like, man, I'll watch a whole other thing right now. What else is going
I'm
on?
behind on those shows.
Yeah, they're good. You know,
Like, I got like about 3 more episodes on both, and about however many episodes of Legends of Tomorrow.
there's 8, I think, 8 episodes of that.
Yeah,
Might be more, but
missing a couple of each.
yeah, I enjoy them. Those are like the only shows I like need to watch as they go out.
Yeah, same.
But so I watched all that. I binged it. I watched it all in one day. It's only 8 episodes, to be fair, but like it was so good for folks out there. I know it's not anime, but Stranger Things is very good. Very, very anime. Not anime at all, actually, but it's very 80s. So I watched all that. I'm like, man, I could watch something. So somebody I follow on Twitter. I don't actually know who it is. I should find out. Um,
Wow.
Somebody I follow on Twitter retweeted. This is why I don't know specific. They retweeted somebody's recommendation for anime. They did like one of the things like for every favorite this tweet gets, I'll tell you a favorite anime of mine. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw one that had like he was putting a GIF attached to all of the recommendations, and one of them was a gif of some woman hitting a dude in the face with like a bouquet of roses over and over again.
Episode 1.
Which is from episode 1 of Golden Time. And the reason that I watched it wasn't actually just because of the gif, although it was a big contributing factor. It was because he's like, hey, it's a anime, it's a drama, romance, comedy, not set in high school. And he's like, it's very sweet and it's very funny. I'm like, it's not set in high school. Is that even allowed? So I had never watched a show like that before. I'm sure it exists. Before Neb just starts writing me angry voicemails. Writing me angry voicemails. That's how tired I am, folks. So,
You put too much faith in me.
it's true. I do put too much faith in you. So I went and I watched Golden Time. All 24 episodes. All glorious 24 episodes of it. So here's how I want to do this because like, hey, if this sounds interesting at all, like maybe just like go in kind of blind because I feel like you'll get a better experience out of it that way. So like if you're like, oh, it's a slice of life set in college and like it's funny and it's sweet, like if that's enough for you, go watch it, and then skip the next like 5 minutes or whatever that I talk about it. Just because I went in with pretty much zero expectations and I had a really good time with it, but I do really want to talk about it, so I am going to talk a little bit about it.
Yep, go ahead. I'll admit, every time you post something like, oh, I watched this and I really liked it, I'm like, can I just put that in my queue right now? Alright, I'll get to it eventually. So I still have Your Lie in April still in my queue to watch.
Yeah.
But I trust you, Alex. We have almost sort of the same taste.
We have very similar tastes. We are drawn to the same things, although I think we stick around for different reasons.
Probably.
But we'll tend to like stick through the same shows. So like yeah, it's set in college. It is a kid named Bonry. You know, he goes to college, makes a bunch of friends. One of the things I like about this show is so it kind of circulates around 5 or 6, maybe like 7 main characters. They're like a bunch of fucking weirdos. I guess this is from the same creators as Toradora.
Yep.
So I figured Nep, you and Greg would know about that. I don't know if you've ever watched Toradora, Justin.
I don't even think I've ever heard anybody talk about it. So.
I've had it recommended to me a lot. So from what I understand, it's pretty good. I don't know if you can corroborate that, Nep.
Cough.
Cough. Okay. Fair enough.
That sounds right. Okay.
That's pretty much high praise from Mr. Neff over here. Um, I've never watched Toradora. Greg likes it a lot, and so does Tony Horvath, my co-host on
Are
Irrational
you
Passions.
high?
No,
High on life, maybe.
It's the exact opposite reaction.
I know I was teasing you. I'm sorry, Nev. I maybe I shouldn't speak for you, but maybe you should speak for yourself. Cough. Um, well, all right, you don't like it. Greg likes it.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't?
We both hate it.
Greg told me that he likes that show. So I don't know what he told you. But him, Tony, and I were drunk one night talking about video games, and they both talked to me about Toradora. So he told me some weird thing. I don't want to say like I don't know too much about the show, but yeah, he told me he really liked it. So maybe he's changed his tune on that. That was a few years ago. That was like 2 years ago. So, but I don't know. I can't speak to Greg now because he isn't here.
Because he's busy being a Gundam.
Yeah, he's off transforming. At some point, Greg liked that show. So this is from the same folks. Apparently, it's very similar. I don't know. I just saw like one passing thing that said that. So can't speak to that. But for folks, I guess, have watched that, that's a point of reference. I'm trying to like think of a way to like overview the show, like for you, Justin. College, drama. It's very funny. I don't think I've ever laughed out loud at an anime as much as I did at this one. For like, it's a variety of different things. Like, one thing that I don't remember what show we watched that had a lot of it in it. There's a whole lot of like using English comedically that I really really liked. I don't think the like when the main girl is foreign. I don't think she's like from an English speaking country, but she says a lot of phrases in English, and it sometimes deeply confuses the other characters. It's really fucking funny. Like she
Is this
says,
the main character or?
it's one of the two main characters. It's the female main character.
Okay.
She said like OMG once, and and the other character was trying to figure out what OMG stood for. It was really really funny. And there's like a lot of moments similar to like the whole bouquet of roses slapping in the face. Like there's some great slapstick moments like that. A lot of visual humor, a lot of use of English in a very funny way, or just like they fucking lay into each other. Like they really just make fun of each other without holding back whatsoever. And it's really funny. So like I laughed out loud a whole bunch. So that's high praise because I've never like had that experience with the show. But yeah, to like give you an overview of what it's about, this kid, and this is gonna get like this is stuff you don't necessarily find out right from the beginning, so fair warning. This kid Bonri, he was in an accident about a year and a half before the show starts, where he got like knocked off a bridge and like splatted his head on the ground, and he was real fucked up, and got amnesia. So pretty much everything leading up to that moment he had forgotten, except for kind of like how the world works, but like his personality, his personal relationships. So he had like a serious amnesia. So like
I do not remember that at all. Holy shit.
Have you watched the show? Yeah.
I watched like the first 2 episodes, and I've been meaning to go back to it.
They start talking about that in the second episode, and then they kind of go into it a little bit more in the third episode.
Oh shit! Okay.
So again, it's like early stuff, but I did want to say like, hey, they do talk. This isn't like right at the front, and so he loses his memory and kind of like is like rebuilding his life in a weird way. And he's like, yeah, I wanted to move out of my, I came from a small town, wanted to move out of it because like I don't know anyone there, I don't even know my parents anymore. I'm like, this is fucked up. It's kind of heavy, which they lean into in a really good way. So he moves to Tokyo, starts going to college. It's cool. Like it's a interesting premise at the very least, and it's like very it's kind of morbid in the regard of like that's a very sad idea. Um, but yeah, so he meets a group of friends. There's this kid named Yana, who this girl named Coco has been in love with since since like they were kids, right? Since he like jokingly as a child said, "I'll marry you someday," and then she took that way too seriously and is still obsessed with him. And there's this guy named Tootie Kun, which is which they just like real heavy lean into that joke. Um, and a girl named Oka who looks like super young, and they make fun of her for that a lot. So yeah, so it's this misfit of characters. It's very like if I had one complaint about the show, it's very dramatic, right? It's way more like very sweepingly dramatic, like almost soapy. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's soapy, but it definitely gets close. Which is like a little frustrating at times. Like, all right, I feel like 17 people don't need to be present for this scene, and it's like this isn't like happening in public, but it actually played to me more like a bunch of theater kids, which take it or leave it, right?
I
That's
was about to say, on a scale of 1 to the OC, how OC is the show?
it definitely gets there.
OMG.
What does
OMG.
that mean, Nep?
I'm trying to remember what they thought it meant anyway. Um, but it's yeah, so yeah, the OC is actually a pretty good comparison. It
Great,
gets
so I love it.
it's like the OC is like full on soap opera at certain points. It gets like basically like one step before there.
Okay.
With a couple of scenes kind of dipping its toes into that. That stuff happens more like towards the end of the show, so it's very backloaded. But uh, through most of it, it's just like them being like just a bunch of weirdo. They're so weird. It's so funny. Uh, and, like it's weird in a way that's really relatable to me. I had friends in high school that like we were very similar to this group of people. So like I have a feeling most people would kind of relate to it. Um, but there's plenty of moments of brevity and like comedy that kind of breaks it up. I do want to talk about like kind of like what the show does that's very very good, like very different and very sweet, but it would definitely spoil a whole bunch of stuff.
Go ahead. That's fine.
I know, but Nep said that he'd want to
Well,
watch
yeah,
it
and I
too.
do want to watch it, but like I said, like you said, I'd probably forget it as well by the time I get to it.
Well, I'll say this without like going like without completely ruining it. There's like a really great love story in there that I think is actually uh it's again it's the like what took me by surprise, and the reason like I ended up writing like a whole thing about this was the characters were so human, like they were so well written and relatable that uh like I ended up projecting onto them a lot more than I thought I would. So Coco, kind of like the main girl, ends up falling for Bonry, the main guy, which, obviously, if it's a love story, it's those two coming together. But like she's like super, super insecure, and a little high maintenance, and she hates that about herself. And there are like a lot of really, really good scenes, really powerful scenes, where she kind of talks about that. And like she's like, I hate that I'm like this. I hate that I do this, this, and this, and I there's nothing I can do about it. Like I'm trying. And I'm like, I totally feel you. Like I totally understand this so well. And it's stuff that I've been through in my own life. So like the way that's written out and the way she talks about it is very, very human in a way I like that took me by surprise. Like totally broke my guard. Um, it's really, really good. Like for those reasons alone, I would absolutely recommend it. But like it goes past that, like Bonry's like whole um, memory loss thing, his amnesia, like they lean into that in like a really, really effective way. It starts like becoming more and more of a problem, and he starts having, like I would say, like episodes in relation to it that kind of it's similar. It's portrayed similarly to like how Alzheimer's is portrayed in a lot of media. Um, it's really like it's heavy. Like it was way heavier than I thought it would go, and it's like you see him like kind of like blank out and like not recognize anyone, and then like it cuts to a shot of someone like running to the bathroom still and like breaking down crying because like how heartbreaking is that? It's like oh my god, this is so heavy. Um, but
Hold on.
okay. Is something getting posted or is somebody writing something? Oh my god.
Oh my God, from Joseph.
There we
Oh
go.
okay. Okay, cool.
Great.
I think that's what
Wow.
OMG means. I think.
I think so. Um. So yeah, I don't want to say anymore because it's really good, but yeah, it affected me a lot more than I thought it would. It it's not like I would say it's not like the best. I don't think it's like quite up to Your Lie in April or something like that. Um, it does a lot of things better than some of my more favorite shows out there, though. Like Your Lie in April, like Waiting in the Summer, stuff in like covering heavy topics in a really relatable and human way. And it's very sweet. It's super adorable. I love cute things. If anyone knows me, like you guys do, I fucking love adorable shit, and the relationship in this show is really fucking adorable.
He goes for the lollies.
Is that true? I don't actually know that about myself. Is it am I lollygagging? Is that what?
Yes, that's what all the cool kids call it. I think.
Sure. Um, yeah, it's funny, it's good, it's sweet. It's worth watching. Trust me, like what I said is not even like half of it. There are moments in that show that I couldn't even ruin for you if I wanted to. I don't want to ruin the ending at all, but I really liked it, which will kind of tell you the tone of it, I guess. But damn, they send you on a roller coaster ride for sure. It's worth it though. So yeah, it's called Golden Time. It's on Hulu. That's where I watch it. I guess this is a pretty recent show as well.
Came
I
out
don't.
within like the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it was 2014. 2013 it looks like. But yeah, it's good. I think it's on Crunchyroll as well.
Yes, it is.
Very
That's
funny.
where I watched it.
Yeah, it's very funny. Like I can't understate or overstate that enough. It's funny, sweet, worth watching. So it was like I had a very weird stumbling upon it. I wish I could remember who retweeted that so I could find who who recommended it and look at some of their other recommendations. But yeah, not set in high school, which is a big deal. It's about 20-year-old kids as opposed to 18-year-old or 15-year-old kids. So I relate to it on a different level, essentially. So yeah, it's good.
So I have to say this because I thought it was pretty funny. When you posted that first, I read Golden Time
Mm-hmm.
as a certain other anime that Nep might know as Golden Boy, and I started laughing like, oh my god, why is Alex of all people watching Golden Boy?
Yeah.
I read it again. I'm like, oh, Golden Time. Okay, all right, that makes more sense.
Yo, what's Golden Boy about though?
An old as fuck etchy anime. Like
Huh.
one of the first, like way back.
Yeah, it's original run. Yeah, in the 90s. God damn.
Yo,
93.
it's an oldie.
It's an
but a
oldie
funny.
but a goodie. Well,
Sure, we'll go with that.
I will probably never watch that.
No, you will probably not.
Yeah. Golden Time. That's like all I've been watching though. So I'm trying to figure out what romance thing I'm gonna set my eyes on next. I need to get a good summer anime. As last year Nep said, I need to get my summer on. I've been thinking about just watching Waiting the Summer again. But
I got animes for you. Alex, I got some pretty good animes for you.
All right,
That came out this
There's a
season.
good romance little subplot in JoJo Part 4.
Yeah.
okay.
There's also a very good summer anime about four guys that really like to swim.
Here we go.
It's called Free.
Yo, you don't know Danny yet. You will come Extra Life, Justin.
I
But
can't wait.
Danny Juarez, character.
Uh,
Uh, we should have him on this show because he's a big ass weeaboo.
I saw him say, yes, we should make Alex watch Free during Extra Life.
Yeah, he specifically said that too. He's like, "Yeah, dog, I'm gonna watch Free with you." I'm like, "I don't like watching anime with other people," and he's like, "I don't give a shit," and I'm like, "Well, too tough shit then, I guess."
We'll put you in a room and force you to watch Free. Lock you in the room.
I feel like our time during Extra Life would be spent better elsewhere, but you know.
That's also true.
Yeah. So I have a feeling you and him are gonna
Probably.
on a deep and personal level. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Monsieur Grafias.
I'll go next. First, I'll just start with not anime stuff. Otakon is happening in a couple weeks.
Folks, this will take about an hour.
See, exactly. Already distracted me. Thanks, Neb.
Have a conversation, Justin.
I know. But Otakon is happening in a couple weeks, so by the time the next episode happens, Otakon will already have happened. I do plan on cosplaying as two people. One from a Junji Ito manga, where a guy's head gets cut, and he has to literally hold it in place. If he lets go, it falls off. So I plan on doing that, as well as the new JoJo.
Is he strapped to a cheerleader's butt?
No, he is not.
Damn it,
I'm sorry.
Justin! You failed me. You had one job.
Well, you can imagine him being strapped to a cheerleader's butt, I guess.
I plan on it.
And then, yeah, I plan on being the new JoJo. Not in the sailor uniform, but actually, spoilers, the JoJo before he starts wearing that stuff. So.
New JoJo sailor uniform.
Not sailor uniform.
But, all right. Well, this Google image search was not helpful at all.
It's not going to be unless I give you the name, and I'm not giving the name, because that's spoilers.
Whatever. I just got a picture of SpongeBob in a sailor suit. So.
Everyone already knows because they play the game.
No. Haha, see, so it still says Josuke. That's not his real name.
Joe Butt. Alright.
Joe Butt, yep.
Nailed it.
You were close, you got it. Alright. Alex is officially a JoJo fan.
I'm officially a weeaboo. Do I get my card back yet?
It only took a couple of years doing an anime podcast for it to happen.
We're finally going to give you your honorary weeaboo card.
Yeah.
I'll take it away in a few days.
That's fine, as long as I have it for some amount of time.
So yeah, look for me there. Say hi. I won't bite much.
You will.
I will. So yeah, that'd be awesome. I've been reading manga, of course. I'm still reading Fuka. Still talking to the manga like he can hear me.
I just imagine you as the craziest looking motherfucker on the bus, just like sitting there just yelling at it.
The last chapter, just for context, there was a fight, and I'm like, no, you shouldn't be mad about this. I was literally yelling at the character. This manga is special. It's very special. Other than that, JoJo Part 2, I never actually finished reading that. I did this month. Liked it more than I thought I was going to remember. Because Part 2 is one of like the least favorite of the parts, but reading it reminded me some of the things I did like about it. like the fights, cars, and all that stuff.
I like Cars too. That's not
I
true.
like Cars too. My
I,
favorite is
it's Rusty, the one from the Cars movie.
yes.
Mater.
Yeah, there we go. I almost forgot his name.
I hate
Uh,
you.
Get it done.
um, yeah, so JoJo Part 2 is pretty good. The only part now I have not read was Part 3, which I will probably read when the JoJoniums come out here, since they're going to fix probably some of the translations and stuff. Um, Other than that, I guess it's a spoilers for my anime, but I started reading Relife, which immediately started happening as soon as I was done watching the anime. Um, yeah, Relife is pretty good. So I guess I'll talk about that first for my anime. Um, so
Is
uh,
that the one with the twin maid girls?
no, not even close. Um,
Fuck it though.
Real Life is very much one of those animes I think you would like, Alex. This season
Okay.
has a lot of those for you, to be honest. Um, this is a very sort of slice of life with a little twist. It's about a guy named Kazaki who is 27 years old. He quit a job that he was actually like socially secure on because of an event that happened there, and now he's kind of can't get a job. He's working at a convenience store, and on his way home from working, he meets a guy named Yoki. And
And he
Yoki,
falls in love with him.
yes, he falls in love. And Yoki says to him, "I know everything about you. You're a NEET. I don't know what a NEET is. I forgot to even look it up. But he's just kind of like this person that's just fallen out of society. And we want to put you in this program that will hopefully get you back on your feet. You'll get a job afterwards." Um,
Oh shit! I'm looking at my anime list description. So yeah.
so he shows him this pill and says, "We would like you to enter this Real Life program, where for 1 year you will go back to being 17 years old, go back to school, and live your life as a high school student." He chooses to do so, so all the events are him in school, dealing with school life now as a 27-year-old, so you can imagine what that stuff's like. Oh, I'm smart, I went to college, I know all this stuff, but he ends up failing tests and stuff like that because um, he forgot some of that information. As well as, hey, there's girls that sort of acting like they're friendly to him and starting to like him. He's 27 years old. He can't be doing this stuff with 17 years old. He's 17-year-olds. Um, as well as some of these other characters and their stories in school and his and how he is affecting their lives and making their lives better. Um, so it plays on the slice of life with this extra twist of an older guy thrown in the mix and what he will do and help with these people.
Yeah, it's cool. That's a cool idea.
But yeah, it's totally about the people. And even though he's the main character, it goes into a lot of the other characters a lot. Um,
Oh, it goes into them. All right.
yeah. Um, so immediately when I was,
just perpetually disappointed in us.
well, of course, he's always is.
Yeah.
But it's only 13 episodes, and I actually thought it was going to continue because Crunchyroll only just got the license for it, and they're like, "Up the new summer anime," but it's only 13 episodes, so it didn't continue or into this season. But the 13th episode ends with some huge ass revelations that was like mind blowing to me. And when it happened, I was like, no fucking way. And immediately wanted to start reading the manga to see what more happened to it. Because the twist is that big that you want to know what's going on.
So like, don't watch it until season 2. Got it.
If there is a season 2. If anything, the 13th episode, you'll be like, holy shit, I want more. For sure. So yeah, I definitely highly recommend it. I want to read more of it. I only read a couple chapters, and the cool thing about the chapters for the manga, it's all colored.
Oh, cool.
It's not black and white. So as soon as I went from the anime to the manga, I was like, oh, it's all color, and I'm like,
This
oh,
feels
maybe it's just the
familiar.
first chapter. Nope,
Yeah,
second chapter, third chapter, and it was all the same colors from the anime, so it all matched up and worked very, very well.
that's cool. I've never. The only time I've seen like a colored in manga was the final issue of Naruto. So,
Yeah, they
uh,
do it here and there. I think most of those are online. Like they don't do them in print; they just kind of do them online. If
hmm,
I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure.
yeah, cool.
Um, yeah, so I highly recommend that one. Um,
Sounds dope. Hashtag dope.
it is hashtag dope. Then the ones I've been watching already, One Piece. The only reason why I wanted to bring this one up was the new movie came out yesterday, and with it they had a TV special called Heart of Gold. Crunchyroll got that, so I watched that last night to set up this new movie, and it's very much a setup. It's all about Luffy and the crew going for this piece of gold called the pure gold, which is like the most expensive material in the world that you could literally take over the whole entire world with one little piece of it, just because of how much it will cost and how much it is worth. So it's all about him trying to find that, and it was very cool, very fun story. Again, setting up the movie Film Gold, which I hope Crunchyroll also gets because I would like to watch that as well because the story is kind of cool.
So I'm guessing it ends with him not getting it.
Um, Nobody gets it.
Damn
The
twist.
person that was trying to get it for his own gain, which is the villain in Film Gold, didn't get it, and he's like, you know what? I really don't care, kind of thing. Oops, we didn't get it. Oh well, who got it? Who stopped the person that was trying to get it for me? And they're like, we do not know, but and it ends with Luffy and them heading to the island where that guy is, um, which is like a giant casino of gold and stuff like that.
Can I take a quick diversion here? So I as I was thinking about summer anime, so I brought up anime chart,
Yes.
just to look at the season's summer anime. Uh, there's one that caught my eye. There's a bunch of anime boys on the cover.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. I was like, yep, that's for Alex. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna watch it, but
Binan, Kuku, Chikyu, Bue, Boo, Love, something Love.
sounds about right.
It says the teenage boys are notoriously lazy. I'm like, go on. There's just like a bunch of anime boys in a hot tub.
If you think Alex is actually gonna watch this, guys, don't fall for it. He didn't even watch Free yet.
Shut up, dude. I will watch free. I someday. I just want to throw that out there. At least there is an alternative to free as far as
Oh,
anime boys the show.
I actually have the
Every
alternative to
season.
Free.
Whatever, Nep. Go ahead, Justin.
To be honest, Alex, I have the alternative to Free. It's
Yeah.
not about guys swimming, but it is very much a close alternative, and it fills that void in me that I miss Free,
Okay.
which I will get to eventually. We'll save that one for a little later. Um, so yeah, the other one was JoJo. Um,
hmm
Nap, did you watch the new episode?
Oh, I am one episode behind, but
Oh
yeah.
no. Okay, so the newest
Mostly caught
episode,
up though.
as of this recording, is probably one of my favorite like story like moments, like one of those one-off stories in part four. And with it, it ends with showing the villain, my favorite character from the season, and I was giddy.
Is it the? Did they actually show the dog getting killed?
Yeah, well, they block out the cut neck part.
Okay,
Kill a
yeah.
They've been
dog?
doing that a lot.
That's fucked
JoJo
up.
always kills dogs.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
That's actually
Well, it's
pretty
more fucked
normal.
up in the last episode, which was Let's Go Hunting, where the JoJo,
Oh,
Josuke,
okay.
goes for a rat, who has a stand, and he like the rat can hit you with this dart and make you like melt into a puddle of like disgusting bloody goo of like your guts and stuff. So it opens up like this fridge, and
Oh God.
it's supposed to show like these two humans all deformed and like together with their guts and stuff, but it's just one black blob. And I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, they're not
I
going to show that.
I expected that for sure. I knew they weren't gonna show it
Oh,
because
for sure.
yeah, that was pretty gruesome as fuck in the manga.
But they show the rats that are in a cube, and I'm like, really? You're going to show
Oh
that?
yeah, I was surprised about that one.
But I guess it's because it's animals and not humans, kind of thing. But then again, the dog. Yeah, okay,
The
never mind.
dog,
Anyways,
it works.
yeah. So, yeah, that was one of my favorites. I was looking forward to this episode for a while,
Yeah,
especially with the end.
it's a good part. I don't think it fully explains everything, does it?
No, it never does. It just says, "Hey, I was killed by this person. The person's still out there. Go find the person," and then
Yeah.
it shows the person at the end. Finally.
Yeah, we finally get a glimpse of Kira.
And it's so great. It's so great. I forgot how
wait.
great it is, and seeing it animated was so funny.
I meant we get a glimpse of David Bowie.
Yeah, it's funny. Like this first like look of him doesn't look like what he does a little bit later with his suit on and like the one that everybody thinks of. It looks slightly different. So, but yeah, Kira's finally revealed, and it's so great. I can't wait.
Akira!
Not even
Asuka?
close.
Different one. Oh, sorry, a different.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Something Tetsuo. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's gonna write in a death note.
Yeah, that's what it is. Or are we just making this weird hodgepodge anime amalgamation?
Yeah,
Time
that's what
to take
MUPX is
away
called.
your card.
Damn it!
You had it for 5 minutes,
My
Alex.
weeb card! How am I gonna go to the drugstore to buy anime now?
Well, you gotta redeem yourself.
I imagine a weeb card is like a weed card.
But for anime.
Yeah, you go to the special retailers that sell Mary Jo Weeaboo.
I totally imagine this now.
All right, go ahead, Justin. I'm sorry.
So yeah, JoJo, still great as ever. It's gonna get even better now after this episode.
Oh, they did. Since last time, they started using a new opening.
Yeah, I like it visually, but I miss the old song. I loved the first song so much.
Oh my god. I think like the visuals are really great because it's like showing a little bit of what's coming ahead, but it also shows farther ahead.
Oh yeah, it shows like
I'm kind of wondering how long they're going to keep this opening because of how future into the opening is.
well, it was funny too because the first opening, that even had like it not spoilers since Kira was shown now. It had like every single stand user in that opening,
Oh yeah,
everyone,
did.
including Kira, and I was like, wait, whoa, like this is like so much more spoilers than Part 3's openings, which once you know and you watch the opening, it's like, holy shit. So many spoilers.
It's also not using the same studio who made the other openings, so
Yeah,
their styles are going to differ.
yeah, that's true.
Which
Yeah, the
I
second opening's
kind
pretty
of
good.
miss because they did good shit.
They did very good. But I'm not complaining. I like it a lot. Doesn't really spoil
It
too
sounds
much.
like complaining. No, I'm just kidding.
It is, Alex. Okay.
Jesus.
But yeah, JoJo's still great. It's funny. This is the last thing I want to talk about. Part 4 is the most like fun of the parts so far, like that you can watch, and it's the one I recommend people watching, just because of how fun it is. But I saw someone also post saying, "Don't fall for the Part 4 hype. It's not that good," and I'm like, I can see it. Like, with stupid episodes like the rat one and some of these other ones, it's like, why even watch it?
I feel like anyone that ever utters or writes the sentence "Don't fall for the Part 4 hype" should be released into the wild, though.
He said it. Alex said it, not me, guys. So send all your hate mail to.
Hey, yo, tweet it at Alfighter27. I'd love to fucking talk to some weebs on Twitter. Let's do it. I'm sorry.
You're not getting your weak card back.
I'm just teasing.
So yeah, JoJo Part 4 is very fun. Very, very fun. But another anime that I really, really like started back up again, and that's Food Wars.
Oh yeah, fucking. Speaking of Danny Juarez, he also has been trying to get me to watch this.
I really seriously actually think you would like it.
I've watched an episode with you, save for like the weird naked shit that happens in that game or show. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen. Like it does happen, but like that maybe start to become a little bit more funny with it. Where in this season, the headmaster of the whole school, he's just in there, he's eating the food, and then all of a sudden it turns away to somebody talking about the food. It goes back to him, and his shirt's just off, like, all of a sudden. And they're like, wait, why did his shirt just come off? Did he like it that much? And they're like, well,
why not?
Yeah. So it's just, like, some quick stuff like that sometimes, too. And it's funny in that way.
Okay.
But the second season steps it up. They're on the Autumn Festival. I get the two confused. I think it's the Autumn Elections or Autumn Festival. And then afterwards, it's going to be another fun arc. I'm curious how long they're going to go again. Maybe 26 episodes or 24 episodes again. But there's plenty more for them to go. The manga is still really, really good. And still changing up what they're doing. So yeah, definitely still recommend that. Now on to some of the newer stuff. And again, more anime that I think you would like, Alex. I talked about this one before. Orange.
Is the New Black? Yeah.
Yes, Orange, the New
Black.
Black.
Netflix original.
This is the anime of it.
What if there was,
no.
Dude? What if there was?
I think there'd be some hate. Either that or we'd have a lot of people start watching anime.
There you go.
But no, I talked about this one before. This one's about a girl named Naho who gets letters from her future self 10 years in the future. Telling her that she has all these regrets of her life, and that you should do these instead, because after one of the other main characters, he dies like a year later from now, named Kakeru, and
Kakariko.
Yes, we'll go with that.
Okay.
And Kakarot, yes, Kakarot.
Cool.
He goes Super Saiyan. It doesn't end pretty.
He dies like 6 times.
He does like 6 times. Fuses somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's a very slice of life. This is the one I said that was also done by the Kids on a Slope people.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's just about her trying to maybe listen to her future self while also making her future her own. So one of the choices was, I felt so bad for doing this, but we lost a game because I did not go up to pitch or go up to bat, and I let my friend go up and lose the game for us. And I hated ever since. We never were the same after that. So she, at that moment in time, and is debating on what she should do, if she should go up or not. She literally is like, no, I shouldn't do it. Go ahead, you do it. And then at the last minute, she decides to go up, and already she's changing her future slowly, but sometimes she does not listen to what her future self did tell her. So it's curious in a way. It's very, very slice of life about these friends.
Would you say it's very anime?
It's very anime. It's not Orange is the New Black at all.
Okay.
But I didn't watch Kids on a Slope, so I cannot say how close it is. But it does.
You need to watch that.
I will eventually. But it's definitely something you would like. It's very, very slice of life.
Is that something that's running, or is that something
It's currently going on. It's on 3 episodes right now.
okay?
Fourth episode actually comes out 2 hours from now, according to Crunchyroll.
God damn.
But yeah, it's very fun. It's just about these kids hanging out with each other with this extra twist of, hey, trying to save her future from being this upset about everything that
Yeah.
happened.
All right, so Justin, if you have time, you can tell me about one more show, and then I have to peace out.
Okay, I'm not. I'm going to talk about 2 shows because the one I'm going to talk about is going to be really quick.
Okay.
Danganronpa 3, Despair and Future Arcs.
Should we watch this before the game comes out?
No, there is no. The game that's coming is after all this.
Okay.
The Spare arc takes place before everything and
Before
tells the story
everything.
before the first game, everything.
Okay.
Before Despair and everything, and tells the story about the second game crew. So Fuyuhiko, Sonia, all them in school before they met Junko. So it's a fun conglomeration of what they're like, having fun in class, talking with other classmates, and the second episode dropped with this huge freaking cliffhanger. I don't want to say what, but it was talked about in the second game. So the fact that we're actually going to be able to maybe see it happen in the anime,
Hmm.
is great. The future arc takes place after everything so far, game-wise, and deals with Makoto after 2 helping the remnants of despair, and that these other people, a part of that organization, I'm blanking on the organization's name, that they get tossed into a game with Monokuma, saying, "There's a traitor among you. Who is it? I'm not going to tell you. But every time this timer goes down, you're all going to fall asleep, and he's going to kill someone.
Fuck.
So try and find the killer. Let me tell you, second episode." I'm sorry, people, but that's a visual, mind-blowing. Like,
Justin's head actually exploded. It was fucked up.
yes, I'm still talking. My lips are on the ground. It's like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, remember, just like have a moment with me. Remember that first time you ever finished like Danganronpa 1? You're like, fuck, that game is so good.
It is so good, and all the stuff afterwards, like games, these animes now, just is the reason why I like it.
That third one comes out early next year, right?
I think so.
I think it's like February is what they're shooting for. Goddamn.
Yeah,
Highly excited.
super excited, especially if it's taking place after all this. I'm wondering what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
I worry. I mean, I saw that. It's just like there's that Persona 5 animation that I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
want to watch this. Like,
I don't want to watch either, but this
but
you
I
can.
guess that's like a 55 minutes, kind of like the first arc of the game. I think is what that is.
I think so.
It's just one thing. But still, I don't. So I worry that this is similar to that.
Nope, this is its own thing. They even came out and said the future arc, they wanted to do a game on this, but there was no way they would be able to tell the story they wanted to, or show you what they wanted to show in game form, to end the Danganronpa like trilogy in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to do it in anime, and let me tell you, it's definitely worth it. I'll have to send you a link to them. It's on Funimation,
Mm-hmm.
but I think there's some other weird stuff going on with that
All right.
because it's not on Hulu for some reason.
Weird. I think the original anime was. But I have to go.
Yes.
Um,
Okay.
Enjoy your anime discussions.
Bye bye.
I'll tell you about
Have
my
fun.
feelings later or whatever. I won't.
You probably won't.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, Nep. It's just us. This is Malicious Underground Podcast X, part 2.5 of the Nep and Justin adventures.
Yes.
So, besides all those, I wanted to talk to Alex about these two, but that's okay. One of them's Sweetness and Lightning, which is a super adorable anime about a father and a daughter who kind of just hasn't been cooking, just hasn't been having like a normal life since his wife and mother died, respectfully. So they haven't been like going out to eat. They've been only having these like little lunch boxes that he's been making, and he just hasn't been the same. So he goes to this restaurant to try and make food, and it's just a kind of bond between a father and a daughter um, of with food, and it's super adorable. I recommend checking it out. The first episode pretty much gives you an idea of what the show's like. There's not much more to say from that because the first 3 episodes are kind of connected in a way of trying to make this one food. But it's super fun, super enjoyable. That's one of the new animes out this season, sorry. And then the other one I wanted to talk about to Alex was the sub-in for free called a Manchu, which, oh my god, I didn't realize how much I missed like that summer like water kind of anime of free until I watched the first episode of this. It's about scuba diving instead of swimming. And it hasn't even gotten to scuba diving yet, 3 episodes in. But it's fun because the characters are super like quirky. They're just having fun. The art style is beautiful. Like I think that's what I like about it the most, and where it gets that summer feel from. It's very bright, vibrant, very colorful, and I highly recommend checking it out. I love the interactions between the two characters, Kohineta, I cannot pronounce it for the life of me, and Oki. Um, they're both totally different types of characters that somehow come together via scuba diving. So it's a super beautiful anime. Uh, I think I've seen more gifs of this recently because of Kohinata's face. There's like they do this weird thing of her. They like normal face, like regular normal. But when she's like super happy or doing something funny, she has this like weird like big-eyed, big mouth face, and it's very very funny. It's definitely the summer anime. I think of all the choices I'm watching this season, just because it feels like it should be a part of it. But other than that, those are the animes I wanted to talk to about with Alex. Um, the other anime, very me anime, Days, which is a soccer anime about a kid who never played any sports in his life, plays for one day, meeting uh, another soccer guy who's really good, named Kazuma, and he decides to join the soccer team with no experience. He played one little game, really enjoyed it, the team aspect of it, and it's kind of him trying to be a part of this team, and try to be accepted a part of this team. So that's a fun anime to watch, just because it's different than other sports animes where it's not some genius player who always either winning or makes the team better because he's on it now. I mean, there's still a part of that in this, but it's not the focus really. So that's the sports anime. Finally, I mean, yes, I've been watching Ace of Diamond, but it feels like I needed another sports anime for a while now. The other anime, couple animes, I guess I'll talk about these ones first. I've been watching Mob Psycho 100. I didn't watch One Punch Man yet, but I feel like I know what One Punch Man is like after watching this. Do you know anything about this, Nip?
I know its name. That's
Okay.
really it.
Yeah, so like I think I want to watch One Punch Man more than I want to watch this. And I haven't even watched One Punch Man yet. It's very stupid funny. But it's about a kid named Mob, or goes by the name of Mob, and he is like a psychic, like he has super powerful ESP, and him going around with his master, who has no powers whatsoever, taking out like these psychic entities and the stupid stuff that ensues. Um, it's super over the top as well, like One Punch Man. Um, Hell, even Mob looks like Saitama, and I keep joking every time I watch it, like, oh man, I don't know if this is like before One Punch Man, where Mob is actually Saitama. He loses all his psychic powers and decides to train up and loses all his hair. He looks exactly like it, and that's probably just the art style of the guy. I think all his other stuff looks like it too. Um, but it's if you like One Punch Man, of course you should give this a shot. Again, I can't say that it's the same, but I feel like it's the same watching it. Um, it's so stupid, but it has its funny parts. Like I said, I don't know if this one's for me compared to One Punch Man, and if this is like One Punch Man, then I think I'm not gonna watch One Punch Man. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I still want to watch One Punch Man.
Is it actually his work? Because
Yes. Yes, it is. It's the same person.
like from the artist or from the creator,
Both. I think
they
it's same people.
they work together again.
Again, I'm not sure. Like I said, the people look the same. Like Mob looks like Saitama with hair. But again, I cannot say more than that. I just know it is at least the person that writing it is the same. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Okay.
because yeah, like the series started as a web comic, and his art is significantly different from the version in the anime. Like, because they got an actual professional artist doing the manga and anime that got released in America,
Hmm.
but his actual artwork is super shitty. Like, he's not a good artist, but he made it himself.
No. See, yeah, I didn't. I knew it was a web comic. I didn't know what if the art was the same or not.
God
Uh,
no.
okay, but yeah. So I mean, again, it's fine. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I will watch it. But uh, yeah, if this is any representation of One Punch Man in any way, shape, or form, then um, I'm su- I'm gonna be mean and say I'm surprised people like One Punch Man. Then, but then again, my tastes are definitely different from people's. But that's just me going off of this saying it's like it. So we'll see. I hope to watch it. Hopefully by next time, if I'm free. But I'm pretty busy these coming months. Um, so the other one I want to talk about, I'm trying to figure out how I want to talk about these because um, I wish I wanted to talk about this one with Greg because I think it's the one he would like. It's called 91 Days. It's a gangster anime. That pretty much sums it up. It's about a kid who witnesses the murder of his friends and family, um, and goes to revenge them in the future. He leaves town and tries to revenge and take revenge on this family that killed him. Um, and trying to make friends with these other mafia members as well as some other stuff. So it's very, very mafia like centric with the storytelling, and can't really say more than that. But it is definitely an enjoyable to watch, especially since the one I watched like the first 2 episodes of last season. I can't even remember what it's called now. That was very, very mob centric, but this one I think is doing it way better because it's actually taking that more than this secret organization mob kind of thing that was in the other anime I was watching. So like I've been itching, like I've been watching some, but it feels like I haven't watched any of these in a while, which is like a shonen anime. Um, and Crunchyroll picked up one that's like that. It's not a Shonen Jump manga or anything, but it feels very shonen. And that's Taboo Tattoo, which is an anime about a kid who gets this tattoo from this mysterious person. I think his name is Seigi.
Is it taboo?
Yes. No. Um, the tattoos give you certain powers depending on what the tattoo is. And he gets a tattoo, and each of these tattoos have to be triggered by a certain thing in order for it to activate. And he gets apparently the most powerful tattoo you can get, which is the power of the void.
Can I take a guess on something?
Yes.
It's an ecchi anime and it triggers with something ecchi.
No. It's like I said, it's very shonen. His tattoo gets activated by blood. So if blood touches it, it activates and pretty much destroys everything because it has the power of the void, which is just decimates everything.
Boring.
So he's trying to control it and trying to use it, as well as some of these other people are trying to go after him because everybody wants that tattoo, and for that person to join the group in a way. So, and then they just showed recently in like the newest episode that the new villain or the villain of the series is trying to get him, and I think try and kill him. But it's interesting. I like I said, I've been wanting to watch like a shonen kind of anime for a while. There's a couple I put on there, like My Hero Academia. I want to watch because like every time I try to read the manga, like a chapter or so, I'm just like, this is not for me. But if I watch the anime, maybe it will help. But yeah, it's interesting. It has some really cool action. The art style is really cool, very clean. But I recommend checking out the first episode. That's a good indicator of what the show's like so far from the couple of first episodes. So yeah, I'm saving the best for last. There's 2 more people. I'm sorry. The the last anime, or almost last anime I want to talk about is called New Game. Do you know anything about this? No, I'm curious because I feel like this was something you probably would have watched.
No.
Okay, so it's about a girl who just came out of high school and is looking for a job, and she joins a company called Eagle Jump, which is a game company that makes her favorite games. So she wanted to join because she loved their games and wanted to create characters for it. So it's about her working for this game company as well as other people in the work area, trying to make a game and just some other fun stuff that ensues within the workplace. It's very cutesy. Like even the people that are grown up look like kids, sort of. But it's very fun, cutesy anime. The art style is very bright and vibrant, but it's a very humor centric anime. Um, I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorites, I think, of the season, just because of how cute it is. I guess it's nice to have something that's very funny, but also being cute once in a while. But other than that, I'm saving the best for last. It is a 3-minute anime called Banana, which is about a cat banana. Uh, that's about all I can say. Um, each each episode talks about like what this banana is and the other bananas that are around. It's so stupid. I love it. It's again 3 minutes. The first episode doesn't. I guess it does do it justice because you know exactly what it's gonna be. Um, but it's just so funny. Like you lose yourself in it really quick. Because I'm just watching it like, oh my god, why is this an actual thing? But it's super adorable. Um, if anything, you've probably seen what it looks like somewhere, which is literally just a banana with like the banana part being like the cat just coming out of the banana. Yeah, this is super adorable, and it's only 3 minutes each, so it's kind of hard not to watch it after knowing that. Um, yeah, everybody should check out Banana. Um, it's amazing. But other than that and everything else I talked about, that is all the anime I have to talk about. Nep, have you been
Okay.
watching anything else?
1 hour later.
Nep, be quiet. Think about this way. I talked about maybe 5 or 6 animes in 15 minutes because Alex has only been gone for like 15 minutes. When he was here, yeah, think about that, Nep. Now talk about your anime.
Sure. So, JoJo was already covered, but I've also been watching Phoenix Wright like usual.
Yep.
We're into game 2 stuff now.
Oh, Francesca.
Also have not seen the newest episode, but does it end yet?
Nope, it's not both. There's the first trial is going to be 4 episodes.
Oh shit! Wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah, the last episode was lots of investigating, as well as ending with the ant going up on the oh my god, the stand kind of thing.
Yeah, up to the stand, but she doesn't have a stand.
Yes, her stand is I'm bitch.
And also being more obvious than in the game.
Yes, very.
That power too.
But it was weird because I was thinking that too, and I'm like, I don't remember it being that like out there, but at the same time, like, oh, in the new episode, it literally was like she goes up to Phoenix and it's like, yeah, if she's gone for this long, somebody else will have to take over, Pearl, and I'm like, I sort of remember that, but I don't remember it being like this blunt that she's like kind of like, yeah, we want.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing. She never was saying how the next one is going to be Pearl. It was her ambition, and it was revealed after she was imprisoned. But
okay,
she
see,
never just
I thought
up.
she said something like that, but I wasn't sure exactly.
No, it becomes a lot more obvious, like a few minutes before she goes to the trial, where Mia shows up and like starts expositioning enough to point the finger at her.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I played those games once, and that was when they came out. So I remember here and there, but I don't remember everything.
Yeah, I've played them more than once.
I want to go back now. Like I actually do. I kind of want to play them all again. Since this anime, especially if they do go past even game two, which would be even greater. Um, but that hope's gonna die maybe, especially if they get to three. I don't expect them to go into Apollo.
Yeah, I'm wondering how long this is gonna last, because like really, like episode wise, they really only have time to do two, if it's gonna be 26 episodes.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I was like, if they do at this rate, I feel like they should do three because that's like the trilogy, like that ties up pretty much everything there. And then after that, they don't really have to continue if they don't want to. I would like them if they did, but
I would like a Nova of Case 5.
yes, yeah, that would be nice too. Uh, which again, they might if they do some of the other stuff later on, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, I'm glad they're doing the game too. Francesca is everything I remember. Uh, she's great. Uh,
I like all the times they just naturally go into like the game animation and just like do all the game stuff, like all the
like their poses when they say something and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like her with the whip like up in the air, like whoosh, kind of thing. I'm like, hey, I remember that pose. Like doing it naturally. All right, great.
And that's how Super Saiyan the pointing of the finger is.
Yeah, the point of the finger, the like whenever they do that, like the hey, take that is more of a like an aura kind of thing that blasts them away,
Pretty
which they've been
much.
doing since the beginning of the show. But yeah, just like him doing that and then her doing the whip and it just like didn't hit him. It was just like hit blew him back because of the aura kind of thing. And it's just like, okay, so that's what was happening in the game. Now it all makes sense.
Sure.
I guess. Yeah, Phoenix Wright is. I'm really, really liking it.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's doing a good job and everything. Like it's changing stuff around, but it makes it work.
Yeah, it's all flowing in well to make it for the anime viewers.
And I fucking love the new opening and just how much it shows and how it doesn't show who's gonna die. Like they actually show everyone, including the one that dies.
Yes, yeah. I like the ending too. It's super adorable. Shows like how like innocent and
And why is it the
childish
blue
Pearl is.
badger?
Wait,
Why
what?
why is it the blue badger when he's not even in the anime?
I don't know. I don't know. I, I have no idea. I was trying to figure that out myself.
It's like they're teasing us of something that may happen but won't.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. I was thinking the same thing.
But yeah, like it's got new openings and endings, and they're both good. Like, although I do like the first one more, just because I thought it was more catchy.
Yeah, it very much was. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I'm still like, when you said the first opening, now I started like humming it a little bit, and I'm like, man, that was very like upbeat and everything. And then this one, it has that moment when it's doing the circus stuff, but it's not like catching me as much as the first opening was.
But yeah, I need to find out where they're selling the soundtrack for the anime because I want it.
Gotta get all that Phoenix Wright music.
Yeah, all of them and the remixes and the openings and endings. But yeah, I fucking love the music, and yeah, it's Phoenix Wright is still going still questioning where it's gonna stop. Because it's gonna have
We'll
to stop.
see.
But yeah, that's pretty exciting. The other thing I've been watching is actually something it's this little thing me and my friend are doing whenever we have time. But we're watching the Kata no Kyokai movies, which are very hard to find and expensive as fuck when you do. Like
Is it because it's not licensed anymore, or?
No, it's an Aniplex title.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's very expensive because it's 7 main movies and then like an 8th exclusive to anime epilogue, because it's based off of a novel series from it's from the same universe as from the same person from Fate Stay Night and all that.
Cool.
But this is further back down, so it's you get some earlier versions of characters because it's being animated by the same people, and it's really obvious because it's I mean, I saw the preview for movie 5 because we stopped at 4, and so I saw the preview of 5, and it's oh hey, there's Shido and Kirie from Fate Stay Night. Holy shit! They're well, they straight up actually have the same voice actor for Kirie, and I don't know who's doing Shiro, but visually he looks the exact same. But their stories are going to be different because in movie 3 they had somebody who very much looks like Sakura from Fate Stay Night, and her story was completely different because it was basically just the story of, well, the basic premise is you have 3 main characters. You have the woman Toko, who is running the shop, and it's basically this place where the other 2, where Shiki and I keep forgetting the guy's name. The only guy of the group that are running this place where they basically just take on cases and do stuff. But it's basically a long story of how you have Shiki who has the same eyesight as the main character from Ski Hime, although they're actually both named Shiki. They're both named Shiki. One of the one in Kata no Kyokai is a girl, but the Shiki and Ski Hime is a guy. But they both have the same eyesight, except the Shiki in Kata no Kyokai actually can control the eyesight at will, where basically she has the vision where she can see all the weaknesses of a person, and she can technically she could just touch the weaknesses in your body with probably just a pinky, and that weakness would be enough to kill you instantly, because it's everyone, they visually showed it one time where it's all these imaginary cuts that she can see, and if she were to touch any of it, it would be death, just straight up. And she can control it to the point where she can cut any point she wants, because at one point in the story, because it's actually the first, chronologically the movies are not in order, so movie 1 is actually set into the future of the other episodes of the other movies I've seen.
Okay.
And at that point, she has only one hand, because in, I think it was movie 3, where she actually loses a hand. So timeline-wise, it's very weird, and she loses a hand, and it's mostly because of somebody's power, and what she does to counteract it is to basically find the little line of weakness in her own arm and just cut off her arm that way, because she has very good mastery of the eyesight. Well, in movie 4, it was actually when she was first starting to use it, so she didn't then, but pretty much in every other movie, she has good mastery of it. And So like she can do all kinds of stuff, and yeah, she is very much into murder. Like it's one of the things she does. It like she has like kind of like a weird respect for it. Like they go into it a little bit where it was like she goes hunts other murderers for the sake of like honoring it, because like she kind of finds it in a respectful manner, like more, and she's going after like just cold-blooded killers that don't care and don't respect the art of murder, basically, and it would be her viewpoint of it.
Hmm.
And so, like, you got this really complicated main character, and well, technically the main character would be the guy, but whatever. And like, it's a really interesting anime series. Like, I've only watched technically half of it, and yeah, MUPX has the complete collection. It's expensive as fuck. And something I learned was when they meant complete collection, they meant the epilogue as well. Because I bought the epilogue separately, only to find out it was already in the collection. And
Oops.
it's Aniplex money, so that was a lot. Yeah, so don't make the same mistake I did. Only get the complete collection if you're actually going to go hunting for it. It's expensive. Well, you can find it. It's just going to be expensive as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Aniplex is always expensive. I mean, I was gonna bring it up earlier, but um, when I went to Otakon last year and I got that Gyo movie based on Junji Ito's uh, manga of the same name, I it was an Aniplex, like someone else, like I forget who the other one was, a company that did that movie, and the movie is so hard to find now. Like it's nowhere um, like on like Netflix or anything like that. And the DVD itself is like super expensive. You can't get it on like Amazon or anything like that, I think. Um, so when I went to Otakon, I saw it there. I'm like, how much is this? And they're like, $30. And I'm like, for a DVD movie, I don't know.
Fucking noob.
Hey, it's called $20 a DVD, man. And well, and it was old too, so I was expecting it to be a little bit more less expensive. And yeah, so even just one little movie, new, old, whatever, they're always expensive. I saw Madoka Magica one there again, like now it's on Netflix. So why would you pay $70 for a DVD of it when you can watch it on Netflix for free? Like that was another one of the things that I saw there, and I'm like, I kind of want to get this. Oh, never mind. Uh, yeah, Aniplex, we love you. You should sponsor us somehow after that speech.
I keep hoping they give up on the American market and give it to other people. So I don't love them.
Yeah, the problem is they got some of those big ones that gave them the dough, so they're not going to go out. They're going to find those animes like that, like Funimation does, and just stick with it. Because I keep saying that too. Like I don't mind Funimation here and there. Like especially when they get just the Japanese one, when they do their dub stuff, that's when I have a problem sometimes.
Uh,
Um,
they
Sometimes,
actually charge fairly.
yeah. And the problem I have with them, again, wow, we're never gonna get sponsors from them. Crunchyroll, we really love you. I
Yeah,
do.
we do.
Um, but Funimation, what I think personally, again, don't completely hate them, but whenever they bring out their anime lists of what they're coming out for the season, what is it? It's always, well, for this season, we got Danganronpa, we got Tales of oh my God, Zestiria, we got like, oh my God,
The
I'm
one
forgetting
with the
this.
B, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like they go for the ones that have steady fandoms already, that they know that they will be able to sell and immediately start doing English dubs for, because they know it's going to be super popular and people are going to really, 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 really like it because it's going all over the internet like crazy. Crunchyroll, all the anime I talked about, I have not seen a single person talk about except for Amanchu and um, I mean JoJo, Phoenix, of course, because those are popular. Food Wars that started to gain popularity, not too much.
I'm actually glad that JoJo's actually going to air in American airwaves.
Yep, and I think it already started last night as of this recording.
Oh, already?
I think so.
Oh, shit. Because, yeah, I read the announcement. I was like, holy shit, how many years did it take for this to happen?
Yep. But yeah, Crunchyroll, they popular wise, the ones I've seen besides Food Wars, JoJo, One Piece, but One Piece is also on Funimation, is Mob Psycho 100. Amanchu and Mob Psycho 100. Only reason why Mob Psycho 100 is popular is because One Punch Man. Amanchu, I'm seeing everywhere just because it's like that again. What I said earlier was it's that free anime. It feels that but without the guys swimming and catering that. Um, and that's why I like Crunchyroll. Like all these animes besides Danganronpa, Crunchyroll. I'm all watching from Crunchyroll, and it's because it's diverse, and I know I'm going to get something different from them. Whereas Funimation, I know they're going to get the popular ones. I'll watch it eventually when it's all done, because I'm not going to pay right now to see those animes. But that's me.
Yeah.
We could talk about that forever, which we probably shouldn't.
Yeah, so Kata no Kyokai. I kind of didn't get into it, but like the basically the Sakura for that series, like her story was basically how she doesn't know how to feel pain. Like her whole life was basically just not feeling it. Like you could hit her in the head and everything, and her pain receptors basically don't kick in. And so her story starts at where she was getting abused by a group of people, and for the first time, like she actually had, she actually felt pain, and she didn't know how to handle it, and so she has powers of her own, where it's basically just this like invisible aura that basically twists and turns people until they die, and yeah, like this is a pretty mature series. Like, yeah, it does stuff, and this one was a good example of it because her whole thing was she didn't know how to deal with the pain, so her goal was to go after everyone in that group and kill them all, and so she was just going on a crazy rampage, and that was she was basically Beta Sakura. Like, yeah, so yeah, even though you got similar characters and they look pretty much the exact fucking same, they are still not the same person. So yeah, it's interesting and it's pretty great, and I'm halfway through and I'm enjoying it. Like, it's got good, interesting stories, and it deals with the supernatural.
And you said this isn't easy to find. You pretty much have to either get the DVDs or other crazy, weird means.
Well, I don't know if you can find the DVDs anymore. Like, the Blu-ray was in US release, and that's also expensive as fuck. And like the DVDs, I found them a couple of times on eBay, and they're also not cheap. So it really is make your choice where you want to go looking. And most likely you can find the Blu-ray a lot easier, but it's going to be more expensive. And you can always gamble with eBay.
Very true.
But yeah, good luck, basically.
Pretty much.
It's worth looking into, like, if you're into the fandom, like, because, like, the actual character was in Melty Blood. Like, the main character of Kata no Kyokai, Shiki, she was one of the characters in Melty Blood. So like, people might have an idea of her already. So like, it's very much part of that loose universe of characters and everything. So it would be something worth exploring when you have the money. But,
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, I'll have to try and see if I can find something on that. See
Good
if it's up my alleys.
Oh, like when the last convention I went to the Aniplex booth. I asked if they had it, and they just kind of laughed. Like it's far gone from the official sources. So you might have a vendor that would sell it for a lot. Like we're talking around the $300 range, just to give you an idea.
That's not worth an hour and 30 minutes of my time. Just
the movies are actually all varied in length. Like some of them are like an hour, some of them are 2 hours. They vary in length. There's no set consistency.
Yeah, still nope. That's not worth $300 for sure.
But yeah,
so that's upsetting. Hopefully somebody does pick it up.
It's an Aniplex title. What do you expect?
I hate, like I said, I hate seeing anime in limbo.
What do you mean pick it up? It is in their hands.
Well, they need to do something more with it.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know. Can hope. Can always hope for animes.
Sure. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is that how I was a little bit late in the release of Zero Time Dilemma. So I meant to finish the second game before it came out, and I didn't. So I pretty much spent a lot of last month of just going through Virtue's Last Reward trying to finish it, and I finally got to the end, and I got my platinum to show I finished it because everyone gets it. Because really, there's only like one trophy you can miss, and that's the completing the puzzles on hard. And technically, that's not even missable because you can go back super fast and get it anyway. But anyway, yeah, I finished Virtue's Last Reward, and holy fuck, that is like one of the best narratives I've ever experienced. Like in terms of just the story, it is fucking great, and like it just blew my fucking mind. Like it does everything so incredibly well. It's so well written, and just like the creators thought the fucking shit out of this story and made it really complex with all these just little things to it, and just made everything fucking work somehow. Like I have no fucking idea how, but they made everything work.
I wanted to play these games, but I don't want to play. For some reason, everybody talks about the stories in these more than they do the puzzles. And then when I tried to play the game, the 999, I'm like, oh man, I want to listen. Oh no, I'm on a puzzle. Damn it, I don't. Okay. And then when I was just trying to look around, trying to beat the puzzle, I literally clicked on everything, did everything I possibly could, I thought, and I couldn't get out of the room. And I'm like, well, what the hell? Did I break it? Like, or something? And then I didn't go looking for the answer. And then when I did go look, eventually, oh, you beat it once, then you have to beat it again and again and again and again to get all these endings. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have time for this. Is there any way I can watch it or do something with it that I don't have to watch this, do the puzzles for any of these games? What?
Just saying.
Hey, it's about the story, right?
I'm still gonna call you a dick.
Hey, I'll take that as a yes. It is about the story. Okay, continued. I was just wondering where I could watch the story only. But hey, whatever.
But yeah, like they just made everything work because, like, it's the basic premise is that you're trapped in in a place, and you know very little about what happened and how you got there. It's just that you were captured by another Zero, because the whole series revolves around, you get captured by somebody calling themselves Zero. And it's basically like this situation where you got 9 people, they're all got to get out. Either one person can get out or everyone can. It really depends on everyone's morality, because you have to make a vote where you either ally with someone or betray at the very end of everything that you do, because you basically have to go through these tests. You have to go with groups, and you have to go through these puzzles, and doing that, you then have to decide with that person that you were just with whether you're going to be a dick to them or not, and what kind of person they are, and make a decision based off of that. Because it goes into the real philosophy of the prisoner's dilemma in this situation. Because like the prisoner's dilemma is a real thing that is basically this, where you got 2 prisoners that got caught for interesting reason here, and basically the police people need one of them to rat the other one out, and so they make a deal with both prisoners where basically you can rat your other partner out and you get a reduced sentence, because like they both got, like, let's just say they got 10 years, and they can reduce that sentence to 6 months if you rat out the other person. However, they only need one of them to rat each other out, so they could either both not say anything and take their 10 years. They could rat the other person out. They get 6 months. The other person would get 15 years. Or they could both rat each other out, and they don't get jack squat because they only needed one. And so it's this dilemma of the prisoners where they have to decide what their best option is, and they put this into motion every time you have to do with ally or betray, because like they have to make it really difficult of whether you're gonna go with ally with that person or not, and whether they're gonna do it to you, because they got this point system where you have to basically just reach 9 points and you could get out of the area that they're in. But you never know what side they're gonna go with and what the reasoning is for each choice. Like, and that's just one thing, because they also go into another real thing with like Schrodinger's cat. I can't say it. It's like German, but that's another real thing that comes into play later on in the story, and it's just like it blends this narrative and like real world stuff and real life like concepts and principles and everything, and just it's so expertly crafted, and everything is there for a reason. Like there is not a single piece of like fluff to it. Like everything needs to happen, everything needs to be done. You need to do everything because it all works together. Like it's just like this perfect puzzle piece, and you can't take out one piece whatsoever or you just lose it. Like you need everything for this game, basically. Like not a single piece should be cut out. And I fucking love it so much. But yeah, Zero Time Dilemma is the 3rd game and supposed to be the final game, because the American fan base supported the shit out of the series. So Japan actually made the 3rd game for us, because this was like a thing that wasn't gonna happen, but they did make it, because just straight up, like the company recognized the American audience and made it for us.
Well, neither was the 2nd game either back then, because 9 hours, 9 persons, and 9 doors did not do as good. So they weren't even going to bring the 2nd one out here for us.
Yeah, like it's just amazing how far along it's come, and like it's also a 4-year gap between both games, and so yeah, it's kind of just amazing what they did. And the 3rd game basically takes place before the events of game 2, because plot reasons, like I really don't want to get into it. Like even the trailer of Zero Time Dilemma is gonna be a spoiler, so I totally recommend you know nothing about the third game until completing the other two games, because everything matters in because they're making it really obvious everything matters in game 1 and 2, and like I'm only at the early parts of game 3, but yeah, everything fucking matters. And the presentation is like really fucking great because they actually upped the presentation this time around and like made all the story segments just straight up cutscenes,
Hmm.
which considering how complex the second game got, and I assume the third game will be as well, that's actually a really big achievement because like all the different cutscenes you'd have to make is going to be kind of nuts. But yeah, that's like a really good step up, and like just presentation wise, it's really fucking great. And you know, it's another escape from where you're at storyline as the basic premise, but like there's more to it, I can already tell, and there's also plenty of spoiler stuff of game 1 and 2 that I don't want to get into. But like, yeah, it's definitely going to be a great game as well. Like, I don't have any doubts about it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing the third game, which is apparently pretty short, also because the story is in cutscene format. So like, a lot of people say around the 25-hour mark. So, which is a lot less considering the second game was, I don't know, like 40 hours or so. I forget what my timer was, but yeah, I am gonna enjoy the shit out of the game for sure.
Me too. Whenever I watch it.
Dick.
What? I'm gonna watch the long play of 999 with all 5 endings, which is gonna take
Well,
forever.
well,
Yeah.
specifically for 999, you only need to get one ending, and then you get the true ending. Like,
Okay, well I have to hope I get that right ending. I'll watch all 5 endings. That's fine. That'll take me forever.
dick.
Because it's this first ending is 5 hours and 48 minutes. I'm just going with what I see in front of me. The third ending is also 5 hours and 44 minutes, and the fifth ending is 10 hours and 14 minutes long. I'm going to be busy watching these. I don't have time to actually play those. Those will sit in the background as I watch.
Wow.
What? It's either me doing nothing, Nep, or I watch these. So either WoW, me not doing at all, even though I really want to, or me not actually do it at all.
You shouldn't do it at all then.
Okay. I won't enjoy this story that I actually was interested in. Okay. Continue, Nep.
Right. Well, that was basically it. Like, I still got plenty to go in the third game.
All right, then I guess with that we will take finally our first break and then talk about Yuri the anime, which is Kanazuki no Miko.
I love how you introduced it.
Hey, you said it first last episode, so I'm just going with what you said and what I saw. So, do we want to just get into this, get this over with? I don't think Greg's going to be in. I don't think he texted either.
He's a dead Gundam. But I do want to go to a restroom.
No, Nep, don't take a number 2, please.
I'll be back.
Never. All right, now got one more question for you. Are you back?
Okay, I'm back.
Yay. So before we get started, I'm going to make you be the actual final decider of what we watch next month.
Oh shit.
1, 2, or 3.
What the fuck?
Just 1, 2, or 3 now.
2.
All right, we got our anime.
Oh god.
Let it be known, I had anime. I made net pick. He does not know what that is.
What did you do?
You chose it, not me.
Right. But yeah.
All right, so should we get started? Got this
Yeah.
train ended, I think, maybe.
Uh, as soon as I finish my draw.
Draw. What are you playing now?
Card game, technically.
Are you playing the soccer purse thing again?
Yes. Like
Let me tell you about these other games for phones that you should download.
I'm a one game person.
I can change that game for you, Net.
Right.
It's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Stardust Shooters.
The fuck?
Exactly, Net. Exactly.
What the fuck?
It is also a game like that where there's gacha and you get medals and you trust me, look it up. It's not in English. You have to download the Japanese one, which is the reason why you should do it anyways, because they're doing part 4 stuff. And you should play that. That will get you away from this soccer thing.
Wow. You're treating it like it's a disease.
It is a disease, Nep.
Oh my god.
When you play the JoJo one, you will be set for life with these one game phone things that you were speaking of.
I'm just kind of waiting until they shut down the server so I don't have to play it again and I can be free from my phone.
They won't do that, Nep, unless there hasn't been an update in forever.
They do it every 2 weeks.
There you go. It's not ending, Nep. That won't end. Because of people like you, Nep, it will not end. Just tell me you did not put money into it. You put money into it, didn't you?
I'll tell you I won't put money into it.
You put money into it. God damn it.
Because that's what you want me to say.
You are the problem that they're still in business.
I am part of the solution. Let's go with
That
that.
it's still here. Sure. Trust me, just check out Stardust Shooters. You'll probably want to play it. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not super addicting, but then again, I've not been addicted to any phone games for very long, so I can't say that. But it is fun, just because it uses actual art from the manga, as well as gets you to play stuff from the animes. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Huh.
Yep. So since when part 4 anime started, they put part 4 missions in there, so you play the episodes and stuff like that. It's pretty great.
Wow. So are they in a soccer field as character cards?
No, they are themselves as medals.
I don't know about this.
You should check it out. It costs you 0 cents to check it out on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And then you do special abilities. So, for instance, let's just say Dio, his one special ability is that he literally stops time and allows you to keep attacking people as nobody moves. That's one of the Dios. Another one is Jotaro that does that as well. There was I got uh, I got an Akira one where he literally zaps everybody with electricity. Um, oh man, I'm drawing a blank. The army then. Wow, I'm really
Bad
blanking.
Company.
Yeah, yeah. Um, he if the medals are in a certain line, they like shoot down the line and attack the other medals that are in there, the enemy's medals. Yeah, it's pretty great. It is pretty great. Uh, like I said, YouTube, check it out, or I'll just post a link for you. Make it easier on yourself if I find something good.
Well, if I clicked it on right now, my computer would choke.
Okay, well, I will put it. I'll put the link there, and you can take a look at it. Let me see if I can just find a quick good one. Let's go with this one. Looks like 10 minutes, and it's pretty new. So that's Josuke. So I will give you this. I don't know if it's good or not. He has Dio, he has a Jotaro and stuff. So you can watch this later then. So should we get started then?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to eat. I'm hungry.
I've been eating snacks to keep me at bay. I'll actually eat a meal when this is done.
Yep, same. So, all right. You ready?
Yep.
And we're back to talk Yuri because of the man that's with me right now, Mr. Neb.
Yeah, it's been a long time making. We should have watched a Yuri show a long time ago. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. I should have just chose Free as the anime and just got it over with. Just make us watch Free and get Alex to finally watch it. But
I wouldn't
Yaoi,
mind
Yuri, totally different things.
I wouldn't mind rewatching it.
Again, me either. But right now I have a Manchu, so it's kind of like I finally got what I've been looking for a little bit now.
But yeah, Kanazuki no Miko, like he's been saying, it's a Yuri title with mechs. Like
Yeah, so that's the one thing I said earlier. I'm kind of upset that Greg isn't here because I feel like if the Yuri didn't get him, this little bit of Mex parts that there is, he would have liked that part.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his reaction would be if he would just hate it or love it. Like it's always felt like he would either extremely love it or extremely hate it.
Yeah, and to be honest, thinking about it, I think he would be. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he would actually like this. Um, I actually do, unless it's something with the story that he didn't like, which, let's be honest, the story's not that great. But
Yeah.
but that would probably be the one thing that would have pulled him away.
Yeah, because like, okay, so just the formalities, like Kanazuki Miko actually got license rescued because the original license holder was Genion, and that company doesn't exist anymore. But it is in the hands of Sentai Filmworks, so you can stream it in their locations, which is like Hulu and Anime News Network, and like it can be purchased at Sentai Filmwork locations. So, it's still available today, but it's a pretty old show, like from the early 2000s.
Yeah, I was about to say you could have fooled me with the early 2000s thing. Uh, the art style, definitely. I was looking at it, I'm like, man, Neb, why do you have to choose like something old? This feels really old. Like, not super old, but it felt like mid 90s or something like that.
Oh,
but
not that old.
but yeah, like it felt like it was in that like middle ground of like old and like sort of new, like not
Yeah,
crazy
it's in
new.
that era.
It felt Dragon Ball Z-ish looking graphics. Like In my mind,
It
it looked
doesn't
like that.
help that the mech goes Super Saiyan at the end.
Yeah, that happened. That did happen.
It just goes gold because Super Saiyan. Sure, let's go with
Hey,
that.
Dragon Ball is pretty popular. Let's do something like that.
Yeah, let's go with that. But because, like, the history of the actual series is that, like, it started off as a manga from like, the creators are two guys and they did the manga. They only did 2 volumes, and the story is almost completely different from the anime. Like, the anime takes the basic characters, the basic premise, kind of, and
Guy,
does it
girl meets
does
girl. Girl falls in love with girl. Girl gets obsessed with girl. Like,
yeah, that's part of it.
okay.
But, like, it goes in a completely different turn, and it also expands the shit out of all the support characters, because there's, like, no explanation to almost every character in the manga. Like, they definitely improve the series by a lot. Like, to put it mildly, the manga is not that great at all in the slightest. Like, I could tell you the quick plot of the manga right now, how different it's going to be from hearing it. So, okay, so the very beginning is the same as the first episode. That doesn't change. But then after that, the Orochi of the manga is a group being run by Chikane's grandfather. Like, that was a twist at about halfway through, where they work for Chikane's grandfather because his whole plan was to avoid his granddaughter being killed. So he basically invests in the Orochi to make them do all that they do in order to make it so that Chikane is the one that lives. And, well, the ending is similar-ish, but,
Mhm.
well, let's just stop right there, like, because it's already pretty different. But, like, like, the basic premise is, like, well, with the title of Kanazuki no Miko, like, it translates to priestesses of the godless month, because in Japanese thing and all that. But yeah, Japan believes in, like, 1 month of the year where there is no god, and that is coincidentally October. So this entire anime takes place over the course of October. So yeah, that's just like a little tidbit right there. But, like, so over the course of this month, like, you got, Chikane is in love with Himeko, and Himeko has conflicting feelings between Chikane and Soma. So, like, she's interested in both a guy and a girl, and that's, like, the school part of that storyline is that. And then you got the mech part of the storyline, which is basically them being priestesses of a goddess that gives them a mech that Soma ends up piloting for most of the show.
Mhm.
And he uses that mech to fight the Orochi, which is the goddess's nemesis. And Orochi is a group of 8 people that each have their own mech.
Yep.
So
And
you got those two kind of different storylines going together at the same time.
yeah, and um,
It's a weird show.
it is because it's fun. I was trying to think of how to word it, but now that you said that, for some reason, that reminded me how I want to say it. It felt like it didn't know which one it wanted to be more. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, we're having these 2 girls really like each other, and now mech fight. Like, wait, whoa. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's like this really cool mech fight, and then it's back to the 2 girls really like each other, and I'm like, wait a second.
Well,
The
you
the fighting
say.
in the fighting in the mech, that was cool, and then you go back to this, and then it's like the mech fight didn't matter. Which, let's be honest, the mech fighting didn't matter at all over the story that it was trying to tell. It really did.
Yeah.
They could have not done any of that until the end, that fight, and that was it. Like they didn't have to do anything else.
Yeah, that's the thing, because they got the the creation studio, like they got this manga to work with, and they threw out a lot of what was in the manga and just made something that resembles it and make it better, basically. But yeah, that would probably be because of how liberal they were with the adaptation, which is a
Hmm.
good thing.
Yeah,
And
no, yeah. Both were fine, but it's just it felt like it didn't know which one it wanted to be.
yeah, that's a common complaint with the series, because it really doesn't know what it wants to be. But like, the basic premise is that love story, and then you got
Hmm.
all this other shit happening at the same time. All these other characters, all their subplots, and actually filling them out as characters, even if it's just a little bit, because the anime did it better.
And I have to say this because this has been bothering me, and I hope I'm not the only one. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Did you watch it in English?
I have watched this multiple times in both languages.
Okay, did you rewatch it in English or?
Yeah, it was in English.
Okay, great. So that I could talk about this. So the Orochi, right? Okay, Orochi, we know eight-headed dragon, blah 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 blah. Makes sense. About I don't know, like 10 times the characters say Orochi. It doesn't sound like Orochi. It sounds like something else. Do you know what I'm gonna say? If you do, then that's great, because then you also heard it.
Go on.
It sounded like they were saying orgy.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, like about 10 times. No joke. I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, they're talking about the Orochi in the first couple episodes, like actually saying Orochi. And then when a character all of a sudden says it, it sounds like they're saying orgy. And I'm like, okay, I know Nep said this is a Yuri, but calling the evil organization an orgy right now is really messed up.
Oh god.
And then like a little bit later, another character says, and they say Orochi, and I'm like, I'm getting confused. Orochi makes sense. It's a Yuri, so the other one makes sense. Which one is it? I and again, it wasn't that I didn't hear it just once, but it was like multiple times where they either said Orochi too quick, so it sounded like Orochi. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you which character said it or when, but it happened way too much, to make it noticeable, and it bothered me. Oh, it wouldn't have bothered me as much if you wouldn't have said from the beginning that this was a Yuri. If, if that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't even thought about it. It wouldn't even popped up in my mind that they were actually saying it, probably.
Yeah, I definitely didn't notice anything like that, and I've watched it so many times.
Okay. And again, the only reason why I said that was because of the English. Like, I can't imagine the Japanese being like that. And again, it could have been just how the English person was saying it at the time or saying it fast. But yeah, that
I I thought they were saying it fine, but apparently not.
again, not all the time. Like most of the times I did hear Orochi, other times, not very often, but it happened. And I was just like, what is going on? Which makes it funny.
Huh. That's interesting.
So yeah, there's the orgy eight-headed dragon of
Uh,
famous Japanese mythology.
apparently so. But like, yeah, and then there's like the whole plot line of, well, towards the end of how it's revealed how one of them has to kill the other one. Like it, like Destiny is not really picky about who does it, but one of them has to die and has to be at the
Yeah,
hands of the other.
I was kind of
And
glad that came into it. Like she was telling the story about like, oh, yeah, one of us had to die, but it kept being like you, and I didn't want to do that again, kind of thing. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, good. I'm kind of glad it didn't like just repeat again. I hate when that happens. Like the story is, oh, yep, this person always dies. Okay, thanks for ruining the end when it does happen. So it was nice that change of pace, I guess. That she's like, "Yep, one of us has to die. Let's go. Come on, bring it."
Because like I would pretty much consider the story as like the beginning where it sets everything up, the brothers fight, and then the end. Like that's like the more memorable parts that I would always go to when I was rewatching. Because like all the songs of the anime is done by Kotoko, which back then I had a huge obsession with and bought their CDs and like would always go to each episode to hear their songs, and I was really obsessed with this music. But
yeah, the music wasn't too bad. I actually thought the music fit pretty well to what I guess was going on. Had that like smooth, like I think it had some piano music in there if I remember correctly.
well, Chikana does play the piano.
That part too, but I wasn't just thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah, like in terms of the Orochi though, they don't get too much explanation for the minor ones. Like Tsubasa gets a lot, and then everyone else is not as much. Like
yeah.
But I do love Tsubasa's story. Like he's definitely one of my favorite of them, mostly because of just how he is and like everything that he's doing is for his brother and just how complicated everything is. And it's mostly a distraction of the main plot, but still, it was a good distraction.
Yeah, it was funny because at first, again, because you said Yuri before I started watching it, I'm like, the first episode starts off with, sorry, I really forget the people's names. Him and what's her name playing tennis, and they're like, oh yeah, these two are gonna be probably together because they're both like perfect and all that stuff. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's not gonna happen because this is Yuri.
Yeah,
still laughing. I'm like, well,
they really only have like one or two times they actually interact with each other, and even then, it's not really on the best of terms.
Yeah, no, yeah. And again, it was so funny because first episode, like 5 minutes in, these two are going to be meant to each other because they're the best of the best. And I'm like, if only this was not a Yuri, probably.
Yeah, a lot of people going into the series are going to know it as like one of the first Yuri titles ever that actually has a good ending and not so evil ending like in the past. Like this was really a game changer for the Yuri community, like when it first came out, because it was like the first time where the main characters were actually going to be a couple, and it wasn't really trying to be like this bullshit thing where it's like, oh no, one of them has to worship the cock or one of them has to die. And well, they do, but they kind of
I was gonna say
they kind of bypass it at the end anyway. But like it was still like when it was still at that time like the happiest ending a Yuri couple ever got, and that was like a crowning achievement for a long ass time. So like, you know, a lot of people that are into Yuri have already seen this, and yeah, they would have the same mindset that you would, because like looking, you know, if you didn't know it, then you know it would be a lot of back and forth of whether it was gonna be like, you know, Yuri or hetero, basically. Like there was a lot of back and forth for a while.
Or if it's a mech or a love story or a
That
drama
too.
love story or what the heck's going on. It
Yeah.
starts off with Max and it's just like, whoa, and then it becomes Yuri.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, I enjoy that even the dub like announced their attacks in translated format, and it just had really dumbass names. And yeah, Japan did that because Japan, and you get the same feeling in the English because they translated it and didn't try and change it.
I think one of my favorite, when speaking of translations, for some reason, and it's always like there's always that character, but they always do a good job with it. I don't know why, but it's the cat chicks that always go like right meow meow, and it's like
Oh
how?
yeah,
Why do you, like why is there always that character, and why is it always good? Like, do they put all their focus on that or what? But
well,
yeah,
it's a good voice actress that they got. Like
she did sound familiar too.
Sandy Fox. Yeah, she's done a lot as well. If you look her up, you'll find a lot of shit.
That's what I'm gonna do. I just saw
But,
Betty Boop, but I doubt that's her.
but yeah,
Hey, she's in
Nekoko
Pittsburgh.
that's a thing she does, and it's great. But like a lot of them, like including her, they were very underdeveloped, and they really only had that one flashback near the end that explained anything about their background, which was more than the manga did. But yeah, it was decent, I guess. Like they had basically just character types as most of the Orochi, and it was okay. Like there wasn't too much more to expand. Like there was a drama CD that had the idol actually in her mech for a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
whereas in the anime she like appeared and died almost instantly. But yeah, there really isn't too much expanding them. But yeah, like they still have some good side characters that have moments, like Otoha. Like she had her moments, like when she was just being mischievous and trying to be a shit to Himeko,
Yeah. Yeah.
or her heartwarming moment with Chikane that one time.
One time. Yeah.
Unfortunately for her, which it kind of sucks because she was a decent character. I liked her. Like
Mm-hmm.
she was mostly harmless. Like, but
Mostly.
yeah, like like they had some good side characters that didn't do much. Like uh Yukihito did almost next to nothing, but you got ones like
Oh shit.
well, you got like Girochi, which apparently you wouldn't know this from the anime, but he's one of the youngest of the characters. Like the
Uh,
the Musaban guy.
yeah.
He is around 13 or 14.
Of course.
And you would not have known that physically looking at him. But
Nope.
yeah, because like he basically looks like a kind of hulked out with chains. But yeah, he's like an interesting character, and they lightly imply that he and his sister were in a war and that was their tragedy. And I liked him. Like he was decent. Like he actually said some interesting stuff. And like at the very end when they were fighting Orochi and all those voices were coming out, I actually like one of his words actually kind of stuck with me when he says like love is the most selfish form of possession. Like words like that actually stuck by me and continued throughout my life. And like it had its impact on me. Like it probably meant nothing to everyone else, but to me it actually meant something.
Hey, that's always good to
But
have.
like yeah, I like that. And we really haven't said much about Tsubasa except besides probably the most homo of the characters.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not a yaoi, but it comes close with Tsubasa.
Hey, whatever he likes, man. Whatever
which
he's
is
into, he's into.
which is very ambiguous at best. But he was still a good character though, and like his last moments when he actually frees Soma, like that was great. And and also had better voice acting in the English, because this is probably one of the few shows I'll ever say the English is better than the Japanese. And there's a lot of moments where just straight up the English has a better emphasis on feelings and emotions than the Japanese did. And that speech Tsubasa and Soma had at the very end on the final episode, like, that is a good example of it, where he just calls him a bastard and frees him from his prison.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was just a good English speaking moment for sure. And let's see. Do you have anything stand out for the characters?
Yeah, that Himeko. I decided, so I'm like, she was the person that sounded really familiar to me, like super similar to me. So I decided to look up what she was in, and as soon as I found the first one, I'm like, oh my god, I am retarded.
What?
Hinata from Naruto, like instantly, like
Oh.
now I immediately hear it, and I'm like, great.
Oh,
No wonder I don't like her.
What the fuck?
But I don't like her voice. It's
Wow.
hard. Except for in one thing, which I immediately saw then as well, which is Histoire from Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Oh, I've never played those games in English.
I mean, the game stuff. Like, I'm looking at her games that she's been doing. Like, that stuff's fine. Just not Hinata. I don't like Hinata's voice. That's me.
Wow.
But I'm trying to get around the two. Anyways, I think my favorite character, and like I was looking up a list of characters, and apparently the name I heard was not the one I heard.
What?
And she's only in it 2 episodes. Makoto? Is it Makoto? I think it's Makoto.
Oh, yeah, Makoto,
it is Makoto.
The best friend.
Yeah. I'm like, man, she's going to be my favorite she's gone.
Yeah, that was part of the whole not sure what it was going to be, and so she was relegated as part of the school story, which was almost non-existent.
And then she comes back, and I'm like, yay! And then the show's over. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, that was just a case of it trying to do everything and not giving a lot of time to anything.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's all I could say. Like, she's not there very much, but when I first saw her, I'm like, yep, she's the character I'm going to like. She did some cool stuff. She saved her and all that stuff, and then now she's gone. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what was the point of that? Literally, there was no point in that at all. But yeah, like I like some of the Orochi people. Like, the rocker. I don't want to call her the rocker because she seemed like one. The one that kept getting made fun of.
Corona.
Yes, that's it. I see the name. Delusional Pop Idol. Yeah, her. She was funny. I enjoyed her. Mostly just because of the bickering between everybody and her. Yeah, then the cat chick, she was just funny because of cat saying yeah and all the time. Yeah. I mean, otherwise, character-wise, like there was nobody that literally grabbed me being like, yes, this was the best character, because the characters were not there very long, unless you were the technically three main characters. I wanted to see more of certain characters, but again, didn't get that. So yeah, and that's because of what we talked about before. It didn't know what it wanted to be, and if it just figured out what it wanted to be, just say it was a Yuri, let it be the Yuri with the school parts, get rid of the mechs. Okay, we could have had probably more character developments that way. You want it to be a mechs? Okay, then focus on the Orochi people more instead of just being like, hey, this is how they are. Fight them. Okay, they lost.
Yeah,
Move on
that
to the
was
next one.
one of the things they kept from the manga, and it's probably more just because like the creators were like, let's do something cool with this, and that the other one went like, let's do mechs, and then they just went with it.
And then they had a fight, and then they're like, you know what? 50-50. All right.
Well, the manga was only 2 volumes, so it was too short to do that.
So volume 1 was school stuff, and then second volume was mech stuff.
Not really. Like the mechs were like just
No,
a few pages
I know.
out of the story.
If it was that would be horrible. But yeah, like those were the characters that stood out to me. Again, I know it's about oh my god, Himiko and Chikane, but like to me, I until the last episode, I was just like, let's come on, just get on with it. We know you both like each other. All right, come on. All right, now mech fight. All right, now we're back to you. All right, come on. What are you gonna do? Okay, you really like each other.
Yeah, that's basically how it was until the plot twist of the final Orochi head.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, what was worse about it was like as the anime started to happen, like okay, Chikane and Himiko, they like each other, but Chikane is not getting the attention that she deserves, and again, Yuri. So I was like, okay, something's gonna happen here. Like something's gonna go wrong, and it's all gonna go. I was gonna make a joke. But I'm not gonna say it now. I'm gonna keep that all up to everybody's expectations. That she went evil, and that's when that whole scene happened of
Her.
maybe raping her, quote unquote.
The manga makes it super explicit and
Okay.
makes it obvious that
Well,
it
I
was
mean,
rape.
it was totally obvious. I mean, without
Yeah.
seeing it, but like as soon as like that episode happened, before that happened, like leading up to it, I'm like, of course, like it started to make sense like earlier that this is gonna happen, but now that it happened, it's like, right, finally, like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was definitely the turning point of the story where they finally knew what the story was gonna be, and up to then was just dilly dallying with everything, and
to make
then
her go
actually,
that way.
yeah, and yeah, where she goes evil, rapes Himiko, and takes the mech also,
Yes,
and
so that was a good scene. I was like, all right, I'm preaching what she's preaching. Like that's some good shit right there. Um, but yeah, that's when it started to at least better. So okay, it's horrible things to say. When the show got a little bit more interesting than what it was trying to be.
yeah, it made a lot of missteps, and it's very obvious that it was such a in the early days. Let's just call it the early days of anime, even though it's not the
Of anime
oldest.
or Yuri? Because I think that's more
Yeah,
the stuff
yeah.
of
Let's go with
Yuri.
that. Early days of Yuri, and so there was just a lot of uh, mistakes along the way. Let's go with that because
Um, yeah, because like you said, it was early. Like this was one of the first ones that people actually started recognizing Yuri. I know it's not my thing, but even this would probably not have helped the cause any. It didn't
well,
of me going to watch more Yuri. Like it didn't do anything crazy mind blowing or anything crazy that would have made me want to actually watch it.
but yeah, it was an important title to exist for Yuri, but yeah, the actual show itself it missteps. Let's go with that. And but the actual story, like where she went evil and they spend an entire episode delaying it, and they actually get to the part where they have to be one of them has to kill the other. I actually like that entire speech that Chikana gives. Like, the weirdest way to say you love someone is while you're dueling to the death.
Yeah, like I said, that was probably one of the best episodes because of stuff like that. With the whole speech and the whole even afterwards, her dying, that speech,
And then
talking to her.
making it hard to tell who got stabbed until you get that screenshot of just straight up the stabbing.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that was like shocking at the time. And just, well, you don't know anything, but like, what did you think it was going to happen?
You said it was hard to tell, but maybe I just noticed something. I don't know. But when they both clashed, there was like the different, like, it wasn't like an evil or like, haha, I'm killed you or I'm gonna kill you expression on Chikane's face. It was like more of a look of like despair or like, oh no, something happened kind of face. While Himiko's was kind of like none of that. So I kind of figured that it was probably Chikane that died.
Huh.
Also, again, just because now it's been so long, the good guy always wins. Done. There we go.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, that's true.
like that part of me was also like, okay, well, if Chikane wins, then like, what are you gonna? Personally, what I would have thought of the anime, eh? Himiko dying, and then the whole thing with Chikane's speech was great. Like, imagine that reversed. Probably wouldn't have been that great. So, like,
Yeah.
thinking about it again, I wasn't thinking about that until afterwards, but like the whole good always wins, and I did see sort of a different expression on Chikane's face when it was over, and I was like, oh, yep, it's over.
And she had like the longest death sequence ever.
Hey, she like just got stabbed once. It's not like a Kamehameha or anything like that where you do a Kamehameha and Cell's dying, yelling for 10 minutes and
But it was like
stuff
the
like that.
entire first half of the final episode of her just dying.
Yeah, that was probably only a minute in their time. Come on.
I guess in the realm of anime, yeah, it'd be about a minute. But yeah, that was interesting. And then having one last battle with Orochi because we're ending the mech part. So we gotta do
we
something.
need more mechs. We haven't had mechs in a while.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a little bit of a gap between the two mech fights of the last time they went mechs and then in the final episode. There actually was a gap. And
so they're like, fuck, we didn't do mechs for a while. We know we want to do more mechs. This is a mech anime. We need a mech. All right, boom, there we go.
Yeah. So they just came up with a reason for mechs and mech fight, and they end that. And it's really the part where they kind of sidestep the whole part of the whole cliche of like, oh, this is Yuri, so we're going to kill one of them because that's how Yuri works. And they sidestep it with the reincarnation part.
Well, somebody has to have someone with their sword. Just saying.
What?
It's a sex joke.
Oh.
Continue.
Okay. Right. Well, okay. But yeah, you get the reincarnation where Chikane gets to talk with the spirit that appears like twice. And, you know, she gets her chance to be reincarnated into a world as a different person. And Himiko, you know, is resuming her life where you get to see your favorite character again.
Yeah, I'm like, yay, she's back, she's important, and then the credits.
Yeah, and then it basically is just a glorified scene of Himiko being asked out by Soma and just rejecting him without a proper reason, because technically there really isn't a reason.
Yeah, because technically she doesn't know, but Yuri, we gotta make him not date.
So yeah, and then you get the rejection, and you get Chikane and Himiko reuniting in a different form, although she looks exactly the same.
Yep.
But for for convenience reasons, she just looks the same but is a different person. And
Well, it was funny too because I think they like when they talked about that when she was dying or something like that. Like, yeah, we did this before, and they both look the same, and I'm like,
yeah.
I know that's how it works in anime. Like, oh, here's your ancestor. You look the same. This curse thing, you always look the same. But at the same time, I'm like, really? Like, sure, we'll go with
Like,
that.
they styled their hair slightly differently.
They parted to the left instead of the right.
Just slightly. But yeah, it was just the same design again. But yeah, and that was how they sized up in. Like, it was a grand achievement for Yuri community. But
Yuri for everybody after this.
it took a while, even after Kensuke no Miko came out. But yeah, Yuri's in a better position now. I'm glad it exists. And also, if you're collecting the series way back in the day and you got the special edition of the final volume, it came with a couple stuff. Because it...
Did it come with your own Yuri, Matt? Did it come
No,
with your own
but
Chikane?
it came with a seashell.
Okay, that makes sense.
That you could wear, because that was like one of the themes they had going for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They had the themes of sun and the moon, and
was there a mini mech with it? Because that was clearly the main part of it, the whole anime.
Oh no! Physically, it was just the disc with a little bit extra and the little necklace.
Okay.
Like the extra that came with it. And oh right, there's also like a little interview thing that they had with the creators, and they were saying some stuff like how, the entire point of the series was basically to have a story where the girl likes both the girl and the guy, and she chooses the girl. Like, that was the main point of the series. And boy, did it take a while to get to that part.
Only took the last episode.
Yeah, that was the main point. And like the anime staff were debating for a long time whether they would like have like a little glimpse of a girl like behind a tree when someone was asking her out and getting rejected, to show that like he's gonna rebound, he's gonna be fine. But at the same time, they decided not to because it would just cheapen the feel if they did that. So like, there was thought into the series somewhat.
But the best part about this whole interview so far that you've told me, not a single thing about a mech.
Yeah.
This is a love story. We want to do this and this and this and this. Dude, don't forget the mechs. Oh, right. Mechs. We're gonna have mechs in there. Mechs fight. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember the interview word for word, but the mechs were brought in at some point. But they didn't go too much into it. Like, really, the love story was the thing that they talked about the most. How, it was always meant to be, Himeko and Chikane. How, Soma was... They gave him, like a fighting chance by making him the childhood friend. The childhood friend is pretty much always the character that goes in anime that gets the win, because childhood friend and cliche.
Yeah, like as soon as I saw her, I'm like, oh man, she's a childhood friend. But in the little piece of me in the background, as I was watching the first episode, I'm like, she's gonna be the one that's not chosen, and she's gonna disappear. And then she disappeared. I'm like, God damn it! Why was I right? There's like a little piece of me that thought about it.
Yeah, that was an intentional misdirection just to make it seem like he had a chance when, the creators had... he had no chance because of the creators. But, like, like they did that intentional. Like, what else did they go into? Like, they also went into, like, how the Orochi, like, out of the entire story, you got, like, unfulfilled desires. Like, you got Himeko, Chikane, and Soma. Like, they were sometimes happy, sometimes not happy. Like, and then you got the Orochi. Like, they like were going into it how in the entire story the Orochi were the happiest of the characters because they got what they were wanting the entire time.
Yeah, like I think they had the most fun.
Yep.
Like any episode I was watching, I'm like, man, they're just literally chilling out right now, making fun of each other, saying stupid stuff, while down back on Earth,
Yeah.
there's freaking stupid shit going on. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, like, why are they making the Orochi orgy people so much more enjoyable to watch than the actual main characters?
Well, story-wise, it would be because they're getting what they want.
Yeah. No, yeah, you said that. It was just funny because I thought about that. I'm like, what the hell? Like, they're literally making fun of each other.
Yep.
And
They were just chilling out, being people, having fun. Most of them.
most of them.
Like Tsubasa, who the fuck knows?
Yeah, he was up to his own thing. But yeah,
But
this anime was very not Yuri, very mechy, and lots of emotions.
yeah, it like hasn't aged well for sure, and
Yeah.
like for the longest time it had like the crowning achievement of like the golden standard for Yuri because there was nothing better. And like, you know, going back into it like really confirmed my suspicion how it wasn't going to age well and how Yuri has come a long way. Because
Mm-hmm.
I believe the next show that would even contest it would be like 2 years later. That would actually be another show that focused on Yuri and actually had a happy ending for the couples. And like I believe Strawberry Panic was the next one, and that would be like another. That would be like a full 2 years before it happened. So really, it was the golden standard because nothing could beat it, and the industry really didn't try. But it hasn't aged well, and yeah, it had its moments. Like I wouldn't call it complete shit, but it's far from good.
Yeah, it's like you said, it definitely doesn't hold up.
But yeah, I watched the shit out of it back then, and I was also obsessed and bought it multiple times because reasons. Like, let's see. Okay, so I bought the manga twice because I actually forgot I owned it. Uh, don't judge.
I was about to say, now you can read both of them all at the same time. Just like have them both in one hand. Just be like, oh man, that's cool. Look on the other page. Oh man, that's cool too. And
God, but yeah, and I bought the anime. Let's see, I bought it once as it was coming out, and then I actually bought a second copy to send to a friend because we were both obsessed with it, and I was buying it for them, and so that's 2 copies, and then my original copy was long story short, I don't have it anymore, so I had to buy the series again. So that's 3 copies, and then I actually bought the complete collection that came out with Sentai Filmworks. I didn't know they still owned it, but yeah. So in the grand scheme of things, I bought it 4 times, and there's really no other anime ever that I've done this for. So like, you know, it has a special place in my heart, and I did enjoy rewatching it for basically the brothers fight and the ending. Like those are always have been the highlights for me. Those are the parts I will always go to. The others parts not so much. And oh right, so I didn't go into it, but the manga, the way it ends. You wanna
everybody dies.
uh no, not really. Like well, I forget, but I'm pretty sure the grandpa dies. Or
No, not
uncle
the grandpa.
or or uncle. I forget what he was, but he was never even shown, so who the fuck cares?
Not the uncle, grandpa person.
But yeah, like basically the biggest differences were like they implied a little bit of a romance between Corona and the bookworm Kyoko.
Mm.
Like in terms of character development, that would be the highlights of them, and and how they also implied in the manga how Girochi and Miyako actually aren't related, so there was a little bit of a romance there. But again, like, they went into the side characters so much less that it was really literally just one line of dialogue that implied it. So it doesn't matter. But the characters are a lot less there. It ends with a fight. And it goes to the part where Chikane had to go to the moon and, like, gets to talk with the goddess one last time, and that part is where it changes. Okay, so what ends up happening is that basically both Himiko and Chikane forsake this duty of reincarnation, and so they end up just being a couple on the moon outside of the realm of reincarnation, where they'll never be reincarnated again. I believe they implied it's going to be forever. I believe so. Like, they basically aren't part of the Earth anymore. They're just there in the moon, in that tiny ass shrine, just making out. They basically, they say fuck you to the reincarnation, and somebody else that looks exactly like Chikane and Himiko and are on Earth, looking up to the sky, as in a few years they're gonna have to do the same thing. So Himiko and Chikane are out of the cycle. They get to be happy, and somebody else is stuck with that duty. That's how the manga ends.
Oh, well, I was about to say that they look up and all of a sudden they see him just making out on the moon or something like that. I don't know.
But yeah, like, besides that, like, the manga is so goddamn short, and like, you got the rape scene, and you actually got a way more pissed off Soma charging into the house, demanding to find out what happened to Himiko. Like, there was a lot more anger to him, but same shit happens, so whatever. Just way more abridged.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything Kanazuki no Miko, besides the drama CD, which isn't worth bringing up, although I do know about it and have seen a translation.
Cool. Anything else we want to wrap up with, or should we practice Yuri?
I'm probably gonna rewatch the brothers fight because I really love that part.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, and I fucking love the music that plays, and just like the action, like, that's always gonna be a highlight. And oh right, I forgot one last thing of the special edition of the final volume, which is out of print, and good luck finding its existence, because that was in the original release only. Like, the complete collection release that's available now never got it, because it was exclusive to Geneon. They made it themselves, but like, you get this 30-minute drama narration kind of thing, where basically it was the English voice actors, like, narrating extra stuff that never happened, and you would have liked it because there was a Makoto part.
Okay, finally, she's important.
Because, like, in this, like, 30-minute thing, like, they had a bunch of character interactions and stuff that never happened that could have happened in between the timeline of the events, like how Makoto meets Otoha and they go at it at the very end, where they just start hurling insults at each other because they didn't get along. Otoha goes like, "You athletic bitch," and then Makoto's just like, "You damn gold digger."
Oh no, you didn't.
Like, yeah, like, it was pretty entertaining as hell. Like a lot of the characters got their chance to just throw out some extra lines and have moments together. Like you have a part where Yukihito is playing a prank on Soma, like pretending to be Himiko on a phone call, just to be a dick. But that entire part is only in the limited edition of Volume 3. Good luck finding it, and it is totally worth getting. It's worth getting if you can.
I will hunt it down and I will find it.
Yeah, like a few years ago, I tried to check if somebody ever put it on YouTube. Nope. I don't know now, but like I tried looking for it just to stream it one day, and nope. So yeah, just Genion made it up entirely. It's technically not canon, but it's just harmless stuff that pretty much is canon.
You should buy it and put it on YouTube for everybody. Nep. You should be that awesome guy that does that for us.
I do have it.
There you go.
I don't have a recorder anymore, but
You can find ways.
I did go back and buy it. It's somewhere in my house.
So there we go. So you can be the voice of hope for all of us, Nep, that we want to watch that one episode.
But yeah, it was like this entire 30 minutes of the English dub narrating stuff, because it was loosely kind of like a drama CD, but more visual than ever. Like it had a little bit of motion movements, but it was still just a lot of narration and just having fun interactions with the characters. But yeah, it was worth bringing up, because I would totally recommend people looking that up once you finish just the episodes. Like it's a fun little extra thing.
Well, maybe one day I'll see it, Nep. Hopefully you can provide me with that entertainment.
Sure.
Maybe if we ever see each other one day, you can just be like, hey, I want you to see this, and you let me see it. And then we make fun of Alex for not seeing you still.
Sure, we can do that.
Yes! One up on Alex. I'm going to be able to see Mr. Nep one day. Probably when he's 100. But, anyways, is that everything, Nep?
Yeah, pretty much. That closes Kanazuki no Miko. If you do try and get the complete collection, it's under the name Destinies of the Shrine Maiden.
Yeah, that was one of the problems I was having. I'm looking through a list of like what people did with voice actors, and I'm like, I don't see Kanazuki no Miku. Like, where is this thing? And then all of a sudden, I finally see Maidens, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's it. Click. Oh, yep, that's it. Finally.
Yeah, they changed the name for the complete collection when it went in the hands of Sentai Filmworks. I don't know why. Like, that's not a translation. That's just a new marketing title, I guess.
Yeah, because even in like watching the English one, like they literally say next time on Kanazuki no Miko, and I'm like, oh, so okay, that's literally what it's called. All right, cool.
Yeah, they throw in a lot of Japanese words, and they do a good job of saying it most of the time, apparently.
All right, so that was that awesome Yuri anime with mechs. Because it's all about mechs having sex in this anime.
Sure.
So with that, if you want to email us anything about how stupid we are, how awesome we are, preferably the latter, you can email us at mupxmail@gmail.com. As Alex said earlier, if you like video games, you can watch and listen to our brother podcast, Irrational Passions, and you can follow them on @IrrationalPod. You can also follow us at The Missing, at Gregory Blaney, at Mr_Nep, Mr. all spelled out, at AlFighter27, and at the Sigma Omega for moi. Rate and review us on iTunes. Follow us on the follow the show on Twitter at maliciousPod. You cut out there, Nep. I did not hear it.
My joke is over. Go on.
All right. Tell your friends, please. It helps. Like what always Greg tells us you to do. So the anime for next month is actually my choice, and with the help of one Alex O'Neill and Mr. Nep, because I was debating between 3 animes, and we narrowed it down to one. But then I remembered, hey, there's these other ones that are on the same place that I kind of want to watch. Let Net pick which one with just a random number. And so we're watching a super new anime. I don't even know if we can consider it anime because of who actually made it, but
I hate you.
it's based on an anime. Why? What do you think it is, Net? Let's just take a guess here. If you hate me, what do you think it is?
No, I'm just going preemptive here because I'm probably gonna hate it.
Okay. So we're watching the new, like literally within a month, new anime called Voltron Legendary Defender, and it is on Netflix. We're gonna
I
watch.
hate you.
Like I said, I'm considering it an anime because it's Voltron, but it was made by DreamWorks, so
It really isn't an anime.
there you go. If not that one, you know what? I'm tricking everybody. Screw you, Nep. You got to pick that number. We're gonna go with actually Magi Adventure of Sinbad, which is on Netflix.
What the hell is that?
Okay, so I did research. I actually did some research. So Magi Adventure of Sinbad is actually like a manga currently still going on, which is a prequel slash spinoff of another series under the same name, Magi. There's two of them, like I think like Shadows of Labyrinth and something else.
I think I know that.
And both those series are on Netflix as well. But this one is new. It's like I said, it's a prequel slash spinoff. So I'm assuming, and I haven't heard anything talked about it, that you don't have to watch the other shows to watch it. It is only like 12, 13 episodes. So I was interested in it. I put it in my queue as soon as I saw it. I was looking into it, trying to read up on it, and it seemed interesting. So I'm hoping that this is good. That makes me want to go watch the other animes. So yeah, Magi Adventures of Sinbad, Netflix is a Netflix original. So I don't know how that helps with finding otherwise. But yeah, that is what we will be watching since Voltron is not technically an anime according to one of our own, which is fine. I was gonna watch with Voltron by myself anyways. So hopefully this is what everybody likes. If not, whatever. Like I said, try something different here a little bit. So with
that'll be interesting.
so with that, we will see you next time on Malicious Underground X. Pachoo.
Oh boy.
All right, so Titless.
where can I illegally get it?
I don't know. You'll have to find that. Like I said, Netflix. It's a Netflix original. That's why I said I don't know how that's going to affect anything.
Yeah, I don't have an account, and I'm not gonna start one.
Dude, you could probably easily find it somewhere else. Easily. Got to believe in me that believes in you, Nep. Okay.
I'm gonna have to find it outside of Netflix.
But that's where it was, and I thought we would do one of those. To be honest, when I said 1, 2, and 3, Magi was number 1. 2 was Voltron, and 3 was Seven Deadly Sins. Because that's gonna be one I want to watch eventually.
I would have rather watched that.
Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah, like one of my friends have always praised it and liked it, and so I've always been interested in it.
Like I said, if you don't choose it eventually, it's gonna be one I choose because I've had it on my queue for a while because I wanted to watch it but never got around to it. So at this rate, I'm never gonna get around to it. So unless somebody chooses it or I'm gonna choose it.
I'm not gonna choose it, but I would totally most likely enjoy watching it.
So that's one of them. But I thought we'd go something completely different, completely new. Like I said, I think this literally came out maybe 2 weeks ago.
Is it even complete?
Yeah, well, yeah. Netflix puts all their episodes out right away,
Uh,
so it has 13 episodes.
yeah.
So we will see.
I have no idea how this is going to turn out.
Me either. That's the fun part. It's completely new. Nobody knows anything. If anything, all I can tell you is it has a 5-star rating on Netflix out of 5. So that's all I can say now.
Yeah, that amounts to a lot. I have no idea how this is going to turn out.
That's 69 reviews.
I have no idea how this is going to turn out.
Yep, so we'll see. So, Titless, Mr. Net.
Oh, shit, I have to actually do something.
Well, you're the titles guy, so.
Yeah. Okay. So, titles. We have Alex Anime Body Pillow. I like to binge. Writing angry voicemails. Greg is busy being a Gundam. I think OMG means, oh my god! Orgy, the 8-headed dragon. Misstep of Yuri. 50% Max, 50% Yuri. One up Alex.
To be honest, I have no idea. I really don't. I to be completely honest, I want it to be Orgy the 8-headed dragon, but putting that on iTunes and stuff is probably not a great idea.
Oh boy.
So I was more thinking probably I think OMG means oh my god.
I didn't make the Joseph joke. Did it go through in the audio? Because I had to take off my headset to make it work.
It's sort of, we could sort of hear it. Like I said, hey, it's JoJo. I said something, but yeah.
I straight up could not hear any feedback, so I don't know what was going on. Like, by the time I put my headphones back on, you weren't even talking about it. So, I have no idea.
Yeah, we heard it.
Okay.
So should we go with that one up?
I don't
Or which
know.
one?
Like, I like the orgy one, but at the same time, like, putting
Again, like, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, that is the best one. I think that's the funniest thing. But like, I don't want to put that on iTunes.
I also like Greg is busy being a Gundam.
I know.
Just because it was a fucking Gundam and he doesn't accept it.
So what should we do?
He's being a Gundam.
Gun damn.
Oh fuck! Why didn't we do that? I also like 50% Max and 50% Yuri.
Hey, whichever.
Because it was accurate to this show. But
I'm fine with that one too. I was even gonna go just like, you know what, screw it. The one we haven't said yet, Alex Anime Body Pillow, but
I don't even remember when that happened.
it was at the very beginning of the show. Alex was talking about him being like a body pillow.
Were we actually recording?
Yes, I think it was like I said, very, very beginning. Like we just started or something. Yeah, because I forgot about the titles, and then I went right down to the titles. And as soon as I went down to the titles, that was one of the first things we started. I think when we were recording.
Well.
But I don't care. 50% Max, 50% Yuri is fine. I think oh my god means oh my god.
Who can do the better oh my god?
Joseph Joestar.
Well, there's that, yeah.
But that makes more work.
Well, how loud is you if you were to like put your speakers up to the mic? How well would oh my god sound like?
oh my god! Like that?
Well, I meant like take a YouTube clip and put it up to your speaker.
Actually, that was pretty loud on mine. But no, my headsets, it won't even be able to hear the TV if I even turn it up even more.
Ah, damn. Okay, because I was hoping we could just get the actual Joseph voice to do it, but
we also have that. Oh my god, I just did.
yeah, you can do a replacement of it.
No, I'll do it again. All right. So do you want to say the title, number?
Okay. Okay, so then, okay.
Sorry, I have to get ready.
Okay. This is Malicious Underground Podcast X, episode 39.
I think OMG means, oh my god!
Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, right. So next time, we forgot to do that part.
Well, I said next time on Malicious Underground X. So we just have to type that. Anything, we'll just stop recording. Bye, everybody. I hope you had fun. We'll see you next time.